Tyrannosaurus, just like me. Welcome back, all you sexual tyrannosauruses. Thank you guys for coming and being. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. Thank you guys for coming, watching us this week. For those of you who went to ABN, hopefully you got a penicillin shot since then, and you've been able to get over whatever.
And what drugs are you on right now?
I'm on promethazine. So you guys are about to see. My favorite rapper of all time is Pimp C from UGK. He died from a promethazine overdose in 2007, and that's about to happen to me here in the next couple of minutes. I'm feeling good. So Wild Week, that was pretty awesome. Next week we will not be doing a show because I'm going to the Super Bowl, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But this group, I'm actually glad. Last week we overbooked, and there was 14 people on the show. Yeah. This week, I tried to make sure that wasn't the case. I got some very interesting people. I'm very happy we got Anissa back because she has a lot of cool stuff to say. And then Will Chu is going to join us for the first time. So let me go ahead and introduce our guest for today. Let me see here. She is from Washington. She's a cocktail server, an OnlyFans content creator, and she is also the host of, you do some Man on the Street videos, right?
Yeah.
It's Anissa. Welcome, Anissa.
Hi,
Anissa, what's the Man on the Street stuff you do? What's it called again?
Operator error.
Operator error?
Yeah, me and my girlfriend, we do some like man on the street stuff.
Okay,
Fun. Yeah.
nice. And she's welcome back again. She's from New York. She's into women's health and fitness. It is Lee. How you doing, Lee?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to have you back here. She can deadlift more than you can. She is from Detroit. She sells real estate, and this is my longest serving friend in all of Clark County. Mm-hmm. This is Nicole Merriman. How you doing, Nicole?
Hey, Mike.
There we go. Beautiful.
You didn't say oldest friend this time.
I didn't say oldest. I want to say the longest friend. we met in 2011. Yeah. So okay. And then she's from Las Vegas. She's a singer, songwriter, lead guitarist. Please welcome Leona Logan. How you doing, Leona?
Hello.
Incredible. And then he is from Baltimore. He's a digital marketer by day, and he does Thunder from Down Under and OnlyFans by night. It is Will Chu. How you doing, Will?
Grab your popcorn. Let's get ready. Link in bio. Happy to be here.
And she's from Vegas. She's an OnlyFans model, but she also does stuff off camera. This is.
I hate you.
Sorry. If you saw our last episode, you know this is Hailey. How you doing, Hailey?
Hello, I'm good.
I think my timing's better on promethazine. I think I'm
I'm
funnier.
loving it.
I think I'm definitely funnier this way. Awesome, guys. So we have a bunch of videos that we want to react to. Just had a really cool week. Did any of you guys go to AVN?
I did.
No, I know you did. Did you get any cool interviews?
I got spanked. That was fun.
Well, who'd you get spanked by?
The dragon. I don't know. A little BDSM thing. You see that booth? They're doing complimentary spankings in there.
Shut up.
Nice.
I missed that.
You missed out.
Hailey, what did you do during AVN?
Oh, I had a lot of fans come through. So I only did one other AVN before that. And so the first AVN to this AVN, like the fan difference was amazing. So
how many people waited in line to get your autograph?
I had someone wait for like a good 20, 25. And for me, that's pretty good. Like 25 minutes was pretty decent. Like before they walk away. But I was like, that's commitment, So for my second AVN, I was like, wow.
Anissa, did you have anyone at AVN ask you if you do adult work?
Yeah. I had a lot of people actually coming up to me.
I
don't know if you saw my outfit. It looked like I was a creator or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a few people come up.
Yeah,
to me,
I've had. So I go to AVN every year, usually with just some friends, like a bunch of girls who want to go, and they're really attractive, but they're not porn stars. And they'll go, and every time guys will come up and try to take a picture with them and be like, "Where's your OnlyFans? What's your porn name? Whatever." Yeah. And the girl's like, "I don't do any of this. I work at the Rhino. That's about it. So it was really interesting." Will, did you go at all?
No, I had some friends go. I had something else.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, we're going to get to this one. Do you want to?
Sure. Which one do you want to see? You want to start with anything?
Have fun. Do you see the have fun? Put them in alphabetical order. That'd probably make it better. See, H. Fun with the wrong one. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, guys.
Should we start that
if we
one?
can look up at the screen here, let's take a look at our first video. So this video came out. And
It's gonna go shit on. I saw.
you saw this.
Yeah.
This went mega
Yeah.
viral. So
They
let
were
me read
upset.
it. Can you pull that up again? Because I know it might be kind of small for you guys to see, but the actual words were. It says life advice.
Hold on, put it back. There you go.
Life advice.
I'll pause it for you.
Life advice while you're waiting for the right one. Don't forget to have fun with all the wrong ones. Anybody? And then so there was a huge reaction to this. Went mega viral. What do you guys think about the video? Have fun with all the wrong ones. What do you think about Hailey?
I mean, I agree.
You think you should have fun with all the wrong ones?
Well, for sure. I mean, it's your life. You know, live it, enjoy it, be present, and you learn things from the wrong. You learn
stuff from the
stuff.
wrong.
As long as you like pay attention, you learn something.
Exactly.
You know, go
Chad
off.
Thundercock has lessons for you, is what you're saying.
Oh my god.
I mean, you know, yeah, for sure.
And you have fun, it's whatever. Okay, cool.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
when you want to settle down, though, with the ones who aren't the wrong one, what are they like? The ones who aren't the wrong one.
Ooh, I don't know. It's complex because I'm complicated. You got to be able to get deep with me. You got to be non-judgmental. If you're
That
a
is the
judgmental
truth.
person,
That is absolutely accurate.
damn it.
That is true.
No, but you have to be non-judgmental, and I don't know. I'm a very depth person, so that's why I feel like a lot of people are very superficial for me. But enjoy those times because then you learn more deep things about yourself and like other people, and then you can pinpoint on what you want. You know.
Anissa, what do you think about this?
I think it's good to date.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't think casual sex benefits women, so I don't really believe in that. Like, I get what she's trying to say. Maybe she shouldn't have posted it online. I guess it depends what she's doing. If she's like, hey, fuck every single dude you can before you find your husband, like, oh, I don't know if I necessarily believe in that.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting. What do you think, Lee?
Was it her that posted the video, or was it
Yeah,
the guy?
she posted the video.
I thought it was the guy that posted it.
I didn't hear
And I
that.
was
Did
like,
you?
that's kind of.
No, it was a girl. Yeah.
was a girl.
She's
Okay.
airing everybody out. Yeah. Kind of weird.
Listen, while you're waiting for the right one, make sure you have fun with all the wrong ones. What did you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think
Yeah?
a little
Have fun with all the wrong ones?
attention-seeking
Yeah?
To make a video about it.
Oh, so you
It's
think
like
it's
you
a
don't have to-
okay?
yeah.
It was a good. Yeah,
Like,
maybe
it's
she didn't fuck
good
any
for
of them,
us.
Anissa. Maybe what
You can do
happened
whatever
was
the fuck you
Sure.
want.
she just
True.
make it a cool video. That's actually
Yeah.
not a bad idea. Okay,
Yeah.
Nicole, what do you think?
I think the wrong ones are never fun. They always ruin your life. Yeah,
That's really
true.
interesting.
never fun.
Yeah.
You want
Wait,
to
ruin your life like in a fun way or like in a boring way?
ruin your life with all the
lessons-
good
chaos.
sex and
lessons
all the
they were
good sex
talking
they bring you. They
about.
ruin your life. I'm
Like, do
digmatized.
I need therapy
hate it.
afterwards, or am I just bored?
Yeah,
you know,
but therapy, you know?
You know what I noticed? The girls who live here, whenever we did the whole thing, there was this trope on whatever podcast and Fresh and Fit. They'd have all these girls say, rank yourself from
1 to 10.
from 1
Oh
to
my
10.
God,
And all
yeah.
the girls would be like 10, 10, 10. In Vegas, it was never like that.
Yeah.
We'd have girls come on Vegas, and like my ex-girlfriend, who you know is really attractive, she'd go, I'm a 6. And I'm like, and all the girls are looking around like, I'm a 4. I'm a, they're like, it doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen because the thing is, you guys, those of you, especially you've gone through the Trouts for the pools and the bottle service. You've seen what the women here look like.
Yeah.
Like you have a far greater realization of how attractive women are. Whereas a lot of women on social media, especially the ones who are very young, they don't have any concept of that whatsoever. But I just think it's interesting. You guys seem to have a grasp on reality that other people don't. What do you think, Leona?
For me, I have to agree with you on that one. I've always been a one-man woman, and I get attached really easily. So I don't know. I really don't have a lot of experience with that particular video.
Can I throw a quote up here real quick? Because this reminds me of a Sheryl Sandberg.
Yeah, that's all I could think about when I saw this.
Yeah, so this is Sheryl Sandberg.
Have you ever
from
read
her
this
book.
before, Nisa?
It says, when looking for a life partner, my advice to women is date all of them. The bad boys, the cool boys, the commitment phobic boys, the crazy boys, but do not marry them. The things that make the bad boys sexy do not make them good husbands. When it comes time to settle down, find someone who wants an equal partner, someone who thinks women should be smart, opinionated, ambitious, someone who values fairness and expects, or even better, wants to do his share in the home. These men do exist, and trust me, over time, nothing is sexier.
Yeah, so the thing
This is
is
from her book, Lean In,
Yeah, so
2013.
The issue is from you guys, what you said before, and there's plenty of data that shows this. If men have casual sex, they actually have a higher self-esteem. When women have casual sex, it does not have the same effect. It actually hurts them a little bit. But what she's saying from her standpoint is enjoy the fun ones that aren't good for you when you're younger, and then later on make the good ones wait. Make them wait. And
That's
so
what she's saying.
yeah, she's like later on, He goes, when you're done with all the bad ones, then you can find the good ones. And then, but the problem is, the only people we're forgetting about are the men who sat there and waited while you went through all the bad ones. And they waited and waited and waited, and there's nothing but data that shows
I
that
was so crazy in my college
yeah,
years.
there was just nothing. There's nothing but data that shows that is like a huge prescription for divorce. Anybody?
What are they?
Okay, I'm like, wait.
They're just waiting.
I don't
They're not
think.
doing anything?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm sure they're
But, okay,
living
but
their
they're
lives
waiting,
too.
but-
Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that
You're
either.
sitting around
Like,
waiting for me.
Are they
Don't
good
fucking
I don't
wait
think
then.
that's
No,
necessarily.
agree.
I think she's.
No. What you're saying is what I say to them eventually. What Sheryl Sandberg is saying, the contrapositive of what she's saying is, while you are dating the good ones in your 20s when you're younger, then later on you will find a man who thinks it's sexy to take out the trash when you're in your 30s. And during the interim, you had all your fun with all these other dudes, but that guy had to wait to get to you. In Sheryl Sandberg's hypothetical, the woman's a billionaire. So in her hypothetical world, that's what she has set up. Of course, what you're saying is true. I'm a performance coach. I would give them the advice that you just said. But in her hypothetical world, good guys, just wait for us to be done with our partying years, and then we'll just be there for you. That's what I'm saying.
So
I don't think that's what she's saying. I don't think that's what
The
she's
ones that finish
saying.
last.
Huh?
The
Yes.
ones that just sit around and wait.
But
for
not
a
even
girl
sitting in
to
the
come
wait.
along.
It's like you guys aren't. Listen, guys. If
I think.
go ahead.
I honestly think
I
she's
wanna hear
kind of
Anissa.
saying. I think when you're younger, like. I mean, I definitely don't like those kind of men, and I think it's probably taken me dating those kind of men to be like, okay, like this isn't the kind of man
How long
that I
did it
want to be
take you
with.
to figure it out?
Probably,
10 years.
I would say maybe like 2, 3 years ago, I was really like, like these aren't the kind of men that I like, not even just as partners.
How
as,
long
like,
did it take you
people.
to stop dating them after you realized them?
I will say I've dated men, but I didn't like have an official boyfriend unless I felt like they were like really good people. Yeah. So
What
I
are
think
some of
in
the
between
characteristics you realize now that you don't want? What are some of those characteristics?
that I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't like men who lie.
Okay, for sure.
Like, men who are
Most
like
of us don't.
manipulative. I feel
That-
like
agreed.
ego driven.
Got it.
I don't really like that. Attention seeking.
Okay.
I don't really like that. It's just like, it's just kind of cringy. Like, I'm trying to think.
Men who can't regulate their emotions.
That's a good one.
Men who can't regulate their emotions.
Okay, interesting. I
Yeah.
agree with that. Anybody else?
Anybody else? It's like, yeah.
Men who like everyone.
Men who like everyone. Yeah, they just give their like away, their attention away
Not
for
even
free.
giving it away, but like
I'm giving your like away for free.
if you like everyone, you're probably people pleasing. And if you want to be liked everyone, by
People pleasing.
everyone,
I don't like that
then you're
either.
probably people pleasing.
Yeah.
If you
I don't
guys
like
send-
that just in people.
If you guys
actually.
send me a meme, I'll probably like it, especially if it's a good meme. But I don't like girls' photos. I just
gives his
never
likes
like them.
away.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't do it because exactly for this reason. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean the situation is the part that always gets lost with that video and with the Sheryl Sandberg quote is the guys who waited at the
Exactly.
finish line for the girl to get through having fun with
It
all the
used to be- it
bartenders,
used to be a
VIP
joke,
hosts.
man.
And now it's time for them to get into the relationship once the woman has settled down. She's had her epiphany about she wants a more monogamous religious relationship with whomever. And then when she gets to that point, what happens, unfortunately, is that when we look at the divorce rate, one of the prime indicators of divorce or a woman not being happy in a relationship, 70% of divorces are initiated by women, was the fact that she had a lot of sexual partners before she got married.
She said date, not have sex
Agreed.
with.
I'm with
She
you on
said
that one.
date,
I'm
not
with you on
have
that
sex
one,
with.
too.
I do think like I
But
have
we
dated
know
and
what
gotten to
date
know.
means.
No, I've
Anissa.
dated. I think I've dated a good amount of people,
You're bringing up a great point. Yeah.
and I didn't have sex with all of
So-
them. The
so
only
what-
people I was with intimately were people I was in a relationship
So
with.
here's the thing. What
Very
Anissa's
few.
saying is, so I'm going to say something that this will be controversial. Men do need experience with women and need experience dating to get better with women. True. Women do not.
I do agree.
Women can. Women.
I don't know if I agree with that.
No. Women.
I agree with the first part, not the second part.
I think women can actually have guy best friends who are huge sluts and actually learn from them without dating anybody. I think
Mm-hmm.
women can learn by having like male family members and guys like me, like a lot of my female friends. I'm that guy. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm just telling you what this dude is doing
Mm-hmm.
because they can get the experience. I just think because the attraction level has so much to do with, I mean, a few other things, but mainly your physical appearance. You don't have to work on that. It's not much of a game. Like guys are gonna. There's no action on earth that requires less effort than a woman getting sex. There's nothing. There's literally nothing in the world. You could falling down a flight of stairs requires more force than a woman getting sex. Guys, Lily Phillips had 1,000 dudes lined up to have sex with her. 1,000. Do you understand how incredible? I don't even think you guys understand how easy it is.
But also, yeah, women can get sex
Uh-huh.
very easily.
Yes.
But I think this is exclusive to men.
Yeah.
They think all sex is good sex. Like,
No,
there's
of course
that-
not. I agree.
There's that like comparison.
I totally
It's like
agree.
pizza, even
For
bad
guys
pizza,
for
good
guys who
pizza.
don't fuck, yeah.
Even right.
Yeah.
So for women, it's like if
Yeah.
the option is bad sex or no sex, I feel like a lot of women are going no sex.
No, of course,
sex
agreed.
with a vibrator all day.
There you go. That's never bad sex.
Oh,
Yes, and then you don't.
The vibrator doesn't lie to you. The vibrator
for
doesn't
sure.
gaslight
There
you.
There you go.
It's not
Yeah.
even about that. It's literally just about good or bad sex.
This is what we gotta do. We gotta do a topic on this. This is funny.
Doesn't want to cuddle you.
Yeah, it doesn't want to cuddle. It just leaves you alone. It doesn't,
Nice.
doesn't sweat all over you.
I don't think
the
it's bad,
vibrator
though.
just leaves.
I don't think it's a bad thing though for women to date. I'm not saying like have sex with, but I do think like, hey, kind of figuring out your interests. And I think when you're younger, like you are into like the toxic guys, you are into like the bad boys. Like in elementary school, you're into the boys who were like mean to you, So it is good to kind of feel that out and be like, hey, this isn't probably how I want to be treated. But that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, the good guys are going to be there like at the end. Like I will say like my last relationship, huge fuckboy in the past. And I do think like I had my experience, he had his experience, and I think that's why we worked out so well together later. But I do think he also kind of matured and saw like, hey, these are qualities I wanted in a partner, and I saw that as well.
Okay, so to what you just said, I just finished Dr. David Buss's Evolutionary Psychology textbook, and he goes over this data, which is not in the Evolution of Desire, and I realize why, because this is super toxic. Men who bully in high school have more sexual partners.
Yep.
Men who get bullied in high school have fewer sexual partners.
I could see that.
Women who get bullied in high school have more sexual partners.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yes. But
Low self-esteem.
I was going to
guess
say
you're
that's
right,
not
yeah.
a positive
Have
thing.
you
I'm
noticed?
not, it's
like-
definitely not a positive thing, but
No,
it goes
that's
back to what
like-
she just
yeah.
said
If
before.
you get bullied in high school, maybe you're more likely to say yes when you actually want to say no.
Yeah, no,
And if
again,
you're bullying a man, if you're a man bullying in high school,
it's an evolutionary psychology textbook. It's not a recommendation for life. It's just, I'm just explaining life. It's like if you
that requires context.
if you have stage 4 pancreatic cancer and I'm an oncologist, I'm not like congratulations on the cancer. I'm just explaining the truth. Evolutionary psychology, it just it does these surveys. Of course, it's a terrible thing. That's why he didn't publish it in his other book.
It's like a really unfortunate.
No, yeah, it's there you go, an unfortunate truth.
Unfortunate truth,
There's
yeah.
one further
Pretty
unfortunate truth.
disgusting.
Men who have been physically assaulted, they show these pictures of men who've been physically assaulted to women. They don't tell the women that the men have been physically assaulted, and on average, women find those men less attractive.
Yeah.
Have you noticed, and this is just speculation, but men who bully other people in high school go bald quicker?
You know what? That could be an excessive amount of like testosterone.
Testosterone.
Yeah, it could be an
I
excessive
know,
amount.
it's like I do love a bald
It
guy.
really could be it because that's
Makes
when
sense.
your body is producing the most and you're going through the most testosterone
Or
at that
actually
point.
loss of as you get older.
What do you mean?
Loss of testosterone
Sure.
would cause hair loss.
Oh, loss of testosterone. Well, there's so basically there's a gene for it, and if you take DHT, I believe that causes you to lose hair.
Oh.
Okay. Also, if you take Rogaine, it also causes your testosterone levels to decrease as well.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I'd actually recommend the hair transplants over the fucking
See,
the
do you
Rogaine.
remember, of course, in that old sitcom called Friends, there used to be that one running joke between Ross and Rachel, right? Whereas they would get together, they're unlikely. I hated that show because like all of the guys are stereotypical. Like there's, Ross is the beta, Chandler's kind of somewhere in between, and then you got Joey who's like the alpha kind of himbo guy, right? Then you got then the girls are there, and of course Rachel's the hottest one that gets with Ross, the guy who's the most beta male of the entire thing. Yeah. So what happens during the running joke here is that Ross and Rachel decide to go on a break, right? And they decide that if they're not married by the time they're 30 years old, then and they haven't met anybody or whatever, they're going to get married because he's such a great guy, but at the wrong time. And she's such a hot girl, but she wants to explore her options while she's still hot.
I remember that.
And so you have Ross who's like, okay, sure, I'll wait for it, until you're 30 years old kind of thing. And when you go back and you look at that sort of with a red pill lens right now, it's a horror show because it's also because it reminds look, who's getting the best deal out of that whole thing. She is.
Right.
She can go and explore her options. She's following this Sheryl Sandberg plan for her life, right? Whereas Ross has to be this dutiful beta who's going to go get his degree in
Ross. Do you know how many men? Like, come on, women have been living Ross's life, like where men have been able.
I'm
to
not
go
saying
out
they
and do
haven't,
all
but I'm
that.
just saying like
Boo-hoo.
in that arrangement though, that's it's not a joke. It's like a horror show, and I'll tell you that
Was he not dating other people during the time?
I think he probably was.
Yeah, because it was a joke. Like we were on a break, so he was
we were on
still
a break,
having sex with
yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
So it's not like he just
wanted to be-
he
just wanted to be the victim and cry about it.
They both agreed to it.
But the
Like
idea-
he's still enjoying other
But
women.
the idea of let's wait until we're 30, and then when we got it out of our system.
No.
Then
They both
that's when we're gonna
agreed.
that's when we're gonna get married, right? Well, have you guys seen the other? What was it? I think it was on the Reddit subreddit. There was this one woman who she was 28. I think her fiance was 28 as well, and she had brought up the fact that her fiance is not like all the other guys that she was with when she was with the bad boys, right? Following exactly the same Sheryl Sandberg life plan, right? And saying you're so much nicer than them. You're so much more thoughtful and sensitive or whatever. And the guy takes it as an insult because what he had to earn, the guys that came before him did not have to earn because they weren't nice. And so she's putting out for guys who are like sort of these bad boy fuck boys, right? And she's probably innocently, I'm not saying she's doing this like maliciously, but she's saying that this guy is so unlike all the guys that she used to be with and basically broke up with her on the spot right there. Because it's like
She revealed too much.
Yeah, revealed too much. She revealed the game.
I mean, revealed too much, but the other part is like I hear this. Women say this all the time. It's like, oh yeah, when I was single and having fun, I would have threesomes with my boyfriends, but I really like you, so I'm not going to do that with you. And I'm like, it's a quick way to get rid of a dude, real quick.
That's a
That's a
bizarre
quick
thing
way
to
to get rid
say.
of
That's
a dude.
insane.
That's because of all the guys ruining it for everyone else.
And I've talked about this again.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I'm
did
talking
talk
about this once
that,
again.
and I loved
You
it.
You are a
I
man,
loved it.
and your
I
woman
loved
brings
it.
women home, and you cheat on her. You are a bitch. You are a grade A, certifiable Angus, 100% ground beef, fucking USDA bitch. If you want to cheat on your girl, just go break up with her first, but don't ruin it for the rest of us by fucking cheat. If your girl brings other women home and you cheat, you're a fucking loser. And I'll say it right now. I don't care. You want to debate me? Come on Spaces and I'll humiliate you. That's dumb. I'm not calling every dude who cheats a bitch. I'm saying, but if your girl brings women home
I
and you do
am.
this,
Brings a home and you still cheat
Cheaters
on
are
her
bitches.
when she's still bringing girls to you. Come on.
Do you think that's just like
how?
open? I've talked to
That's
like,
some weird control. Like I don't even know what
It's
that
like,
is. That's
I
weird
feel like it's like
shit.
self-sabotaging,
That's
low
lack of
self-esteem.
It's just opening the door,
like-
though. I think when you're just like allowing this, I think like people's imaginations can kind of like,
Well,
I'm not saying
what?
it's okay.
You're saying when people
but-
have threesomes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it's like it's not like I think I've talked to my previous partners about that. Like, oh, hey, is that something you would be into? Like, oh, fantasy would be, whatever. But I would almost feel like if I allowed this and then they cheated, I would be like, I'm kind of responsible because I opened the door to this in the
No,
first
they
place.
just showed- no, they just showed me their
that would
card.
mean that it doesn't take that much to get them
Yeah.
to want to be like, oh, well,
I mean,
maybe I want to have sex with other people.
the way I see
Then
it-
fuck them. Yeah,
the way I see it-
showed the card right there.
The way I see it, you saved yourself.
Exactly.
You
No,
saved yourself a
100%.
shitty
No, I
relationship.
wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
so sad that I did this. But you're just opening the door to like these ugly feelings to yourself. I wouldn't be
understand what you're
mourning
saying.
the relationship, but like, damn, I had a threesome and then this person
It
cheated
was
on
going
me.
to happen
like,
anyway. It was going to happen anyway.
I've lived
no matter
it.
what.
I've lived that.
You
He left me for the girl that I didn't want to have a threesome
That
with.
you didn't want to have
You
threesome.
didn't.
We did, and this is one time I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm good. It's my birthday. I just want to go home. I want to go to sleep. Next thing I know, he's dating this girl.
Oh
wow.
my God. See,
Brutal.
look, oh my God, nightmare.
Yep. So that was my early 20s.
When was that? Oh, early 20s?
Early 20s.
What did you learn? What did you learn? Would you do it again?
I mean, honestly, it scared the living shit out of me. It
Yeah.
scared me away from all of that. And I've considered it in other relationships. It hasn't happened because my what am I trying to say? I told them that I needed to. They needed to prove to me that they're not going to, do things to hurt me first.
Yeah.
And it's never lasted that long. Anybody who's ever asked that has done something to hurt me. and it hasn't.
We had a threesome. I'm taking my girl to fucking
Yeah, no,
Mastro's
for
and buying her
real.
flowers.
For real.
You got me fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with my girlfriend the next day. You guys are all of you have ruined it for the rest of us, and you get what you deserve. All of you are starting out.
It's the man. It's the man. I feel like you guys have threesomes with, because if I'm having a threesome, me and my man are fucking this girl. We are fucking
Thank you.
her.
Understand.
We are
Teamwork.
fucking her.
That's what I was gonna say.
Teamwork.
And if you
Yeah.
teamwork means
Yeah.
Okay, but if that's the thing. If your man can't fuck you and another fuck, then he's a child. He's not a man, and
He's a child. If he can't fuck you,
there's so many other people.
I'm gonna say he's a child
There's
if
so
he
many
can't
other
fuck you
men
and
out there that can be with you and fucking kiss you, be like, oh, you my favorite all the time. Let's fuck this bitch together. You know what I mean? Like. And you can have a whole bonding moment after it, like how he's
Bonding.
It's bonding.
It depends on why you're doing it.
But that makes not it.
If rules around it, too.
But
Like,
no,
you
but
can't
the
just be
industry
at a
that I'm in, I'm not sure if
snap
it's
of
the
your
industry.
fingers.
No.
It has to be
Yeah.
talked about. But if you're doing it because you want to have this experience together,
Yes.
you
No
want
one can
to
force it,
honestly
yeah.
see, like, is it going to drive this other person insane? Like, you want to, like, all of that. But if you're doing it because you're like, I think I want to have sex with another person, this is my loophole to doing that, you're going to lose them.
As a guy's
Every time.
perspective, or
Every
as the
time.
female's perspective, like bring another female involved, or like
Both.
I think
I mean,
both.
if you're
No,
with
it's
your
quite
boyfriend-
different.
You don't want to bring
it
another
is.
The devil's threesome is quite different.
Yeah, it is.
But if somebody's having a threesome as a
Yeah,
loophole to
that might
have sex
change
with
some
another
things.
person, like a random person,
changes the
But,
dynamic.
they're gonna leave
there's all
drastically.
kinks. It's kinks though too.
Yeah,
So there's also a kink
prioritize
thing
your
too. Like
relationship
you want
above all.
to, you kind
I do
of like
prioritize
making
my
making
relationship.
eye contact
That's why
with
we
my
do.
man while he's fucking someone else, and then I'm about to say it's a
Let me ask
thing.
you.
You know, so that's
So
like it could be
it's a
whole
shared
kink thing.
experience.
It's a
If you're
shared
out-
experience. So if it's
Hold up,
not
hold
going to
up.
be a shared experience, that's when threesomes go downhill.
yeah,
So
because that's a
that
loophole to having sex with another person.
that's where they
without
take
cheating.
the loophole. Where before it's a relationship thing. So that's a shared experience versus the loophole. If your man's gonna take the loophole, then he's a child. If your man's gonna share the experience with you, then that's a man you might want to like
If
keep
he's
around
looking
and,
for a
and see
loophole,
what's
he's
good
gonna
with.
leave no matter what. He's
Exactly.
gonna leave.
Exactly.
Regardless,
Trash.
I think even a man who you think who thinks he's so in love with you, but then he's introduced to this new person. It's like my theory with this is probably like it was the forbidden fruit he knew he couldn't be with. That was the one
Bye.
girl that you
Yeah,
guys.
I think just the wiring is
I'm
wrong.
not in the mood. I'm not into her. Like,
No, well, I'm just
You know,
saying,
you
like,
get
hey,
to
maybe in
choose.
his
No.
20-year-old brain, it's like, okay, I can't
he
be with
was
this person, and maybe that's what kind of drove them together.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel like a lot of affairs and stuff
So-
happen. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't supposed
So-
to happen, so then you get these like feelings you're not supposed to have.
It's
Rules.
bad. It's bad coding in the man's brain. Like the code for me, it's like the girlfriend who wants to bring women home. She is the unicorn.
Rules.
Yeah, she's the one who's incredible. This
Yeah.
other girl, the forbidden fruit, it's like that's not that big of a deal. Having sex with another girl, that's not a huge deal. Having a woman that loves me, who's willing to do this, I'm not replacing that. That's incredible. So my brain is different. That's just
Yeah.
what you're describing is just bad line of code in the guy's
Yeah.
head. Like I wouldn't do that at all. I was a complete
And also,
opposite.
if you're gonna catch
When
feelings
it's-
just from that, like,
Yeah, I know.
when it
Sex-
starts to cause more fights than it does good for your relationship, that's when you need to reevaluate the rules around it.
I just don't know if there's a lot of positives. That
So let
come
me
with
ask you
it.
this: do you have to be bi to be into a threesome?
I don't know. I don't know.
if you're having it with you and your partner, then you guys both need to be into this sexual experience. Like no one's gonna. If one's not into it, then why are we doing this?
no. He's asking if you need to be
You're asking-
bisexual.
We need to
If
be
you would be
bisexual.
into the girl.
Are you bi when you're
Are
hooking up
you
with another
bi?
girl? Do you consider yourself bi, or are you just hooking up with girls?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can like I'm into like I enjoy like doing it for sure. As far as like dating and like, do I see my future? I see that with a man for sure. But like as far as
so
like,
you're right around 50%.
right. So it's hard to say bi because I don't want to be like
You don't want to date a woman independently,
Like
so
50.
you're like below 50%.
Yeah, but I like
35.
this whole it's a whole kink thing. Let's all let's just play and hang out.
Can I ask
Pussy's
a
nice.
question?
We like
Open
pussy.
to-
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you think that men that get pegged are gay?
Ooh,
Wait.
buddy.
Hold on.
Left field.
That's out of left field. I do want to
wanna
answer
hear
that
it.
question. What did you want to say, Anissa?
I'm just curious. Would you be open to sharing that experience with a man that you're completely in love with, and like this is your soulmate? Would you want to have a threesome with him and another woman?
It depends on our relationship. It depends on the toxicity of our relationship. It depends on the confidence within our relationship. It depends on the transgressions of said relationship. Because that is not a right to have threesomes. It's a fucking privilege. So if we have not gotten to that point in our relationship, then there's something wrong in the
For
relationship.
sure. You need a guy who's good,
Yes.
who other women want to have a threesome with.
Yeah.
2
That's
plus
first.
2 is 4.
Okay.
She said what I wanted to
if you,
say.
if a guy gets pegged, is he homosexual? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody want to
No.
Get on that
I
road.
wouldn't
No,
even.
he's not.
No.
He's not.
He's completely straight.
Go ahead. What do you
Could
think?
be.
Rollo?
Nah, he's gay. What are you talking about?
He's
It's like if a man does it.
he's,
like,
he's absolutely gay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about. He's
I don't think so.
He just fell into it. He just tripped and fell.
I
If
don't think
we- if
so.
we looked
I
at
think if
any
your
imp-
sexual experience is with a woman, then there's nothing gay about that. And if
No,
you
there
are
is something
gay,
gay
there's
about
nothing
it.
wrong with that either.
Yes,
the
it is.
imitation of a penis went in your butthole. That is a homosexual act.
Well, what if it's
That-
like purple? That's not.
It doesn't matter. You can't see it. You're facing the other direction. Not that I would know, but I'm saying that nobody clip that. No, but going back to it, say, yeah, dude, if you're getting pegged, I'm sorry, ladies. I'm not trying to say this as a pejorative. I'm not trying to insult him, but yes, you're gay. If a guy's going to do that, it's because you might not have figured out he's gay, but he is gay.
Yeah, you could also be bisexual.
Chinese
It's
finger
not-
trap.
You're not by default gay because you like stuff up your butt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
No,
What
it's
if
not
it's
stuff
not,
up your
like,
butt.
feels
This
good
is
for
not.
them?
This is not stuff up your
Male
butt. This is not your
G-spot.
proctologist.
Oh, shit.
This is not your proctologist sticking a finger up your butt. This is a simulated sexual act with a simulated penis. That is gay. I don't understand what you guys are talking about.
No.
That is there's no other way to look at
Definition
it.
of gay.
It's all relative.
Okay, ready? You put a strap on. He gets on his knees and starts blowing your strap on. Is he
Okay,
gay?
so now, I've never done this before, but do I have this whole like, man, I wonder what it would be like to like peg a dude? But however, could it be my man that do it? Absolutely not. No.
Why
I
couldn't it be your man?
Because I won't tingle afterwards. You this becomes different.
It screws up the dynamic.
Yes, it screws up the dynamic. So it can't be my man, because it's.
We are not 31 minutes into this show. We're
Changes the
talking.
polarity.
That's my thing.
Hell yeah.
jeez.
No.
What about the trust
I
and
think
the
that's
love,
stupid.
the dynamic and
Well,
the
the
transition?
trust, well, the trust and the love.
Love
Tell me you want it up the butt on a regular.
Everything.
basis.
Wait. This is like saying if a girl likes going down another girl, she's gay.
No, she's
She's
bisexual.
not. Okay, so then a man, if he likes butt
Yeah, but
stuff,
so what?
could be bisexual.
You're making gay out to be a pejorative, and I'm not saying it's a pejorative. I'm not calling it an insult.
No,
I'm saying
not.
it as a
I'm
matter
not.
of
I'm
fact.
saying that it's
Bisexual
an
or
area
gay.
of
Bisexual or
categorization
gay.
that doesn't necessarily. I would say, could that man be bisexual? Sure.
Yeah,
Is
but
he
he's-
gay?
but he's not
and
straight.
not into women because he likes butt stuff.
No, but he's not straight. That's not.
That's fine. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I think
But he's
being
not
straight
gay
is like a
either.
dimmer switch anyway. Everybody's
Yes.
got a little gay.
No, I-
Everybody has a little
I
gay.
do agree. I always say that. Everyone's got a little gay.
My
Little
dimmer
gay
switch
force
is all the
arcane.
way off.
I was going to ask, what do you guys think about that comment that everybody
Yeah,
has a
what the
little
men think about it? Jesus.
gay?
I don't think.
What
I
in
think
the butt?
majority of
One
men are
knuckle,
gay
two
at all.
I
knuckles?
don't know.
I think there's a
No.
small number of men. I think I read somewhere.
Let's talk about
You'd be
binary
surprised.
Percent of
men.
men have
Gay.
reported having some
It's
sort of
way gayer
homosexual
than you
fantasy,
think, honestly.
and the amount of men that are
percentage?
homosexual is like
Personally.
4.5% or
Report
something
I
it.
love a
like
man
that.
a little
Because
gay.
there's some
I can.
stigma around it.
We can even go back to like what Dr.
bit.
Meredith Chivers, who was talking. Remember what she was like? She was a sexologist who invented ways to, register arousal levels and stuff like that. And so when women see erotic, media, they by order of degree, depending on whether it's girl, guy, whatever. There's a sort of a sexual fluidity that goes along with that. When guys see women like lesbian porn, or they see just straight porn or whatever, and they're heterosexual, they find that very arousing, right? But when they see two guys together, it's like completely turned off. So for men, it tends to be way more binary than a lot of people would want to realize. And I think there's probably an evolutionary reason for the reason why like women get more turned on by
There are
other stuff.
very
That's
few-
very binary for guys.
There are
I feel
very
the same
few
way. Why
bisexual men.
is that?
Then explain cum shots.
Then explain why your G spot's in your booty. Explain why it's in the booty hole. Yeah, see, the end table got it.
There it is.
Is that fun to you? Yeah. You like that area? Mm-hmm.
35%.
Little pinky in there, a little pinky action.
I'm not aware. I don't know.
It's an Easter egg.
I believe.
Find it.
Wait, did I stump you? Do you not know a fact?
In your body.
In my body, no, I'm not
Wait,
aware.
are you talking about the
No, it's
women's
not.
G spot?
No,
or
the men's
the man's G
G-spot.
spot.
I don't
Yeah, it's actually in their butt.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
What
not
happened?
me. It's there.
I said that's why you're saying it because you've never tried it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't plan on trying.
All right, so there we go. We have our answer.
What if your girlfriend's like,
If you've never tried butts, you
let's
can't
have
say
a
you don't like
threesome, but you have to let me put it in your butt? Would you do it?
Say it again.
What if you had a girlfriend who was like, I'll let us have a threesome, but you have to let me put it in your butt?
I'm probably gonna say no to that.
Probably.
We would be broken up the next day.
You're so disappointed.
I'm being nice.
That is
I
a
would
bridge
definitely
too
say no.
far.
I would definitely say no to that. Yeah.
Okay, I also have another question.
Go ahead.
What about men that have sex while in jail? Do you think they're gay?
Yeah.
What if it's like long periods of time, like 10, 20 years?
Yeah, I'm 10 or 20 years. I think heterosexual men are still not fucking in jail. I think a lot of those guys were gay before they went to jail. I
Really?
really do. Yeah.
You don't
I
think of
and
power
also-
control?
I've also
Maybe a little bit
and
gay.
I've also talked to like guys who've been in federal prison, and they're like, yeah, the amount of sex between men that you think is happening is nowhere near as much as you think. It's not really that common. It's probably going to be the ones who were bisexual or gay in the first place. Maybe they were abused at
It's
some
just
point.
sensationalized on TV
For sure,
and
yeah.
in movies.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying that it's probably not.
I know what you're
quite-
saying though. It's like there's the idea that like you go into prison and you suddenly become homosexual and you come out, then you go back to being heterosexual again.
Yeah.
Because it's your only option because you're forced into because
Yeah.
the population is just one sex for the whole time that you're there. And again, it's like it's sensationalized first of all, and then second of all, men tend to be way more binary than women are. So if the guys go in there and that happens, it's usually because they had some sort of proclivity before they went in there.
Okay, good take.
Yep.
Yeah, the amount of men that are actually bisexual is extremely low. It's like far lower than the amount of men that are homosexual. It's very few, very rare that you find a guy who's actually bisexual. There's a few, but it's just not very common.
As
Do you know-
opposed to being completely gay or being
It would be straight
heterosexual.
one, and then it would be heterosexual, then homosexual, then bisexual. That'd be the rank in order. For women, it's probably heterosexual, then bisexual, then homosexual.
Do you know the stats
Interesting.
for different cultures? Is that
No, it's
is
for
that a thing?
homosexuality. It seems to be pervasive amongst all cultures. There doesn't seem to be like a
love
genetic
that.
thing. Yeah.
It's actually very interesting.
Now,
demographic.
obviously, some people will contend this, but they don't take accurate numbers in Iran. Okay, like they're not going to tell you the accurate numbers on homosexuals in China is not accurate. Like they're not.
That's what I was wondering if
Yes.
it was a cultural thing.
In
or
westernized countries, you'll find that
something
the
stigmatized.
No,
But almost every stat has some bias towards
Okay.
some kind of center. So that's kind of interesting.
I'm going to tell you one that has a lot of bias, and a lot of trad cons are going to get pissed when I say this. This whole idea that 20% of Gen Z and Gen X are reporting that they're
trans.
LBGT, whatever. And then I heard even PBD say this. He goes, America's getting gayer. And I'm like, that's not what's going on.
No.
The amount of men that are gay and the amount of women that are lesbian, that number has held steady. That what has changed is the amount of people that identify as queer or trans. That's a decision that you can make. But being homosexual is not, that number has not gone up. It actually has not gone up. Yeah.
Probably has a lot to do with people being open enough to admit it as well.
Possibly. That could be it. But
Well, everybody wants to feel special. That's why it's like it's not enough to be gay anymore. You got to be trans, or you got to be like a demi boy, or whatever the fuck it is, right? That's why we have 1,000 different genders, because everybody wants to have something to feel special about. You're not trans. You're gay, and you're boring.
Yeah.
That's all you are.
Well,
it's
I
like
just
you want
miss the
something that makes
days
you
when
feel
men
good.
were men and women were
Thank
women.
you. See, that's why we brought you.
beautiful one.
Yeah, let's do another one here. Jeez, that was good. That was a good one. Where do you want to go with this?
Just pick anyone over. They're all funny.
Let's see.
Oh, my husband is abusing me. That one's great.
Okay, great.
That one is great.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know how else to say this, but my husband is manipulating and emotionally
Start over.
abusing
What's the
me.
volume? Still no volume.
What's it say? Can you read what it says?
Yeah, can we get the volume?
We good?
My husband is manipulating.
I don't know how
Oh,
else to
stop.
say.
Let's stop real quick. Travis, the same thing happened last week. Do we know what the issue is?
All right, hang on.
Okay, so we're going to try to figure that out. All right, so
I got a scientific study here.
okay, go ahead.
Shoot.
So, this is according to PubMed. Participants consisted of a group of 35 homophobic men and 29 non-homophobic men, and they were exposed to erotic stimuli.
There you go.
And what they found is only the
I'm sorry.
they were exposed to videotapes
Okay.
of homosexual and lesbian activity. Both groups exhibited increase in penile circumference to the heck.
Okay.
Only the homophobic men showed an increase in penile erection to male homosexual stimuli. So, point being,
Don't.
Confederate.
what's the biggest dick you've sucked?
I think
That's a loaded question right there.
homophobic men are so homophobic because they're a little gay. They're afraid that they're a little gay. I genuinely
Agreed.
feel that way. Like they're afraid
Compulsive
of their sexuality.
cheaters, I think of
they're
that
just
too.
like,
Much
I
about
hate
what other
gay
people
men,
are
I hate
doing.
gay people.
If it
I
doesn't
know.
concern you.
It's your own bedroom. Do you, boo boo.
If you're not, nobody's forcing you to do it.
Kink
why do you
it all
care?
day. I'm with you.
People that are homophobic?
Yeah.
Or-
Well, no. I'm saying for people that are homophobic, why do you care so much about what gay people are doing?
Because they want to do it. Because they want to do it. Because they want to do it.
Because they're ashamed.
Literally.
They're ashamed of the fact that they
can't
relate a little bit.
Yeah, no, exactly.
All right. You want to try it?
They were saying they could hear it in the. They could. We can't.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. Let's give it a shot.
This, but my husband is manipulating and emotionally abusing me.
Just stop real quick. Can we turn that music off in the back? That's your speaker testing sound there? Awesome. Cool. Now can we just play the video on the screen? Can we just do that? Let's try.
I don't know how else to say this, but my husband is manipulating and emotionally abusing me.
Oh, man.
Tell me about it. Whatever you're comfortable talking about. Yeah, I don't want you to just talk. Tell me as much as you feel comfortable telling me.
Okay, so let me just start from the beginning. When my husband and I first started dating, we had this deep conversation about cheating. He told me clear as day, if this ever happens, I need to know straight away. If you tell me and it only happens once, I think I could forgive you. And honestly, that stuck with me. It made me feel like, okay, if I ever screwed up, at least being honest would matter to him more. Fast forward 5 years and we're married now. A couple weeks ago, there was this company party, and I don't even know how to say this, but I made a huge mistake. I slept with a coworker. I know, it's awful. It was a moment of weakness, and I've hated myself every second since it happened. That conversation we had all those years ago, it kept playing in my head. I thought, if I just told him, at least I'd have a chance to fix things, you know? So a couple of nights ago, I brought it up. I asked him if he remembered those conversations we had about cheating. At first, he was like, which one? Because we had a lot of talks like that early on. So I reminded him about how he said he would forgive me if it only happened once, if I was honest. And then I told him everything. His reaction was immediate. He looked mortified. He didn't even say anything, just packed his stuff and left. I begged him to stay. I was crying, apologizing, trying to explain, but he wouldn't listen.
Right.
He said he needed to cool down and walked out. The next day, we finally talked, and I tried to remind him of that conversation, thinking maybe it would help him maybe understand why I confessed. And do you know what he did? He laughed. He was just there on the other end of the phone laughing. Then he told me that he never meant any of it. That he only said he'd forgive me back then, to make sure I'd confess if I ever cheated. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I know what I did was wrong. I'm not denying that for a second, but to hear him say he lied to me, that all this time he never actually meant to forgive me, it felt like, I don't know, like I'd been set up. Now he's planning to divorce me, and he said there's nothing I can say or do to make him change his mind. And I get it. I broke his trust. But at the same time, it feels like he broke mine too. I believed we had this understanding, you know? And maybe if I knew he was lying, I wouldn't have cheated in the first place.
Please.
Or you wouldn't have told him in the first place.
Okay, yeah, what do you?
Hey,
I would have
listen.
divorced her halfway through the
Can we
video.
just talk about how horrible she was emotionally abused? She
Yeah.
was so the first thing she said is, "I was emotionally abused and
Where
manipulated."
do you find this stuff?
That's John Deloney.
Anybody-
Every time
Anissa.
I watch John Deloney, he gets a little bit more red pilled every single time.
Who, that
man.
guy?
Yep,
Yeah.
just little by little, man. Screaming and kicking is he going to be dragged to the red pill?
Anissa, what do you think?
Like, gotcha, bitch. Yeah. that's what she does.
The people in the chat are like, "That was smart. What he did was smart."
I think he's
Yeah.
one of the guys you were talking about earlier. That's like, oh, you just, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. And so that's why he said from jump, oh, if you did do this, I'd still forgive you.
You want to know something funny? I can't find the data on this or like the actual occurrence. I'm gonna make a bet that they didn't get divorced. I'm almost
That's what
guarantee you
I
she
really
took him
bet
back.
too.
I'm almost guarantee you she took him back because most of the time,
back?
Or
men
he
will.
took her back. He
He took her back because most of the time men will.
Because for him to say that from
most of the
jump
time
is
men will.
Why?
I've heard that statistic
because
before.
a third of men have no sex whatsoever, and 70% of divorces are initiated by women. So when men get cheated on, most of the time they don't divorce.
Really?
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I would. I'm saying in this case, I'm almost guaranteed. I'd say there's a high probability he took her back.
I'm
Is
surprised.
pussy that important?
To men,
To be with a woman that like cheated on
if
you?
you don't have any, then yes. If you don't have
Okay.
any, then yes. But I just don't think
You were wondering why guys turn gay in prison? Yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, like, could you not go like for a while? Like, hey, I'm
Well,
single.
let
I'm
me
gonna
ask you
find
a question.
someone. Shit, find a hooker.
If
Like, I don't
what
know.
you're saying, if what you're saying is true, how did OF do $6.3 billion last year? It's because men they can't make it that long.
Yeah.
Because sex is that important to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm
Anybody else?
surprised he didn't die of boredom first. I would have divorced her halfway through that video.
I was going to say the same
It's
thing. That was
another
the
minute
most
of that.
I could
monotone.
just like listen to her and I could just hear how overweight she was. Couldn't you?
Oh my gosh, you know,
I could tell how,
Wow.
how obese.
I was thinking the same.
You just hear her.
but
You just hear her
Really
obesity.
heavy.
She's like the type of person that like complains in the grocery store. She's like a Karen. Couldn't you just feel the Karen in her? I thought.
I didn't feel sorry for her
Please do,
whatsoever. And it's not surprising to me to hear the statistics that you're talking about. And especially if the man is, unfortunately, maybe has low self-esteem and, not a lot of confidence and doesn't think that he would be able to enter the sexual market again or be relevant in it, more likely to stick with the woman.
Men rarely file for divorce, guys. It's rarely not. So when he said that, I think he wanted some attention or validation. I'm almost guarantee you.
I mean, is it just that? I mean, I think there's other contributing
I think so.
factors
I think
as to
so
why,
too.
right? I mean, like
She's out of his league.
like
She's out of his
alimony,
league.
like whatever. I don't
Well,
know.
that's
I feel
what-
like there's a lot.
think
You
about
the
this.
fat lady was out of his league.
I
That's
don't, we don't.
what I was gonna say, but didn't we have those feelings that she
We
was-
don't know that she's fat, but I would say that
No, I
if
don't-
a guy.
nothing against fat
So
women, I'm just
how
saying
long
what
did they?
Michael
How
said.
long did she say they were married? Like 7 or 8 years.
I think so.
They met and had the discussion, and then 5 years later.
5 years later. So you're looking at how long? It didn't say how long they were married though, right? See, this seems to me like something like a sort of a more insecure kind of like beta male kind of guy would do, because he knows that the chick that he's getting with is out of his league, and the possibility exists that she's so hot that in the future she will probably cheat because he knows he's batting out of his league, right? So what does he do? Is he goes and sets something like it's like a fail safe.
Have
for
any of you
him
ladies
in
been
the
in a
future.
situation like this where you're way out of a dude's league and then you cheat?
He tries to set up?
He has no. He just doesn't leave no matter what you do. Does anybody have anything like this happen to
I
them?
mean, I feel
Anybody?
like all of us pretty.
All of us,
beautiful
yeah, all
women
pretty women
None
are
of
like
us.
that.
have literally, been through all the different types of people. Have fun with them all, guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Have fun with them
Bad
all.
ones. Have fun with the bad ones.
Damn.
Denise, has this ever happened to you?
Not that I've never cheated on anyone, so no. But maybe I could see where maybe there were some guys like, hey, I could probably really walk all over this guy if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I feel like,
there's
I feel like the right thing to do in those situations, like, hey, I think you like me. Probably we're not on the same page. So.
Have you ever been with a guy who's been kind of possessive of you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
So yeah, okay. So was that guy out of your league?
Fuck no.
Like too good for me?
No. I mean, like you were out of his. Sorry, let me rephrase that. You were out of his
talking
league.
about?
Like you're above
When he
him
was
in sex.
possessive, it's because you were out of his league.
Ironically, they've all been cheaters. Every single time.
Well, it's not ironically. That's generally why they do it.
It's when you start pulling away. It's when they feel you start to pull away. It's like, you know, once you get their obsession and stuff, and if they're crazy people, you know, and then they feel you start to pull away. I feel like that's when like the possessiveness really hammers down. So
like Mac and Murphy went over some statistics. People who don't like, I never accused anyone of cheating. People who don't cheat don't accuse other people of cheating.
Yeah.
People who cheat all the time, at least, or people who accuse others of cheating all the time. This is for men and women. It's because they're having the thought of cheating. It doesn't mean that they're cheaters, but they're more likely to be cheaters. And so, yeah, like I remember my ex, I would always be like, well, if you're gonna cheat on me, make sure he's good looking. Don't embarrass me. Make sure he's really hot.
It's the worst when they're ugly, man. It's the worst.
I was never cheated on, but I'm just saying. I'm also in all of my relationships. I was always like, if you find some guy who's super hot, just let me know so I can move your stuff out.
I remember my ex telling me that too, because I do think like, you know, when I was younger, I was a lot more insecure. But I feel like just like every single relationship I saw when I was young, women were getting cheated on. So I think that I was like conditioned, like every man's gonna cheat.
Right.
So, you know, when I was younger, like 21, 20, whatever, I'm like, you're cheating on me, you're doing whatever. And they're like, oh, because you're gonna cheat. And I'm like, I've never heard of that. I've never even considered that. I'm just scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say also if you date somebody that you trust fully, and
Yeah.
you find out later that they were like fucking around and you had no idea.
Talking to the mic.
They blindsided you. Then the next time you meet somebody and you're like, oh wow, I feel like I can trust this person. Then alarm bells start going off because you're like, well, the last time I thought that I could trust somebody and I didn't see any signs. I didn't have any suspicion. I was wrong.
Yeah.
So it fucks you up for sure.
No, exactly.
It's not,
Who cares if they're gonna cheat? Let them cheat. Go find someone else. Like especially, like I'm the guy. I'm a 47-year-old guy saying this. You guys are
Kind of
attractive.
just
women.
weeding them
You
out.
guys are attractive women. You can find someone. You can find someone in 2 seconds.
It causes anxiety when you're like getting more serious with someone. You trust them. Your trust is building, and then it happens.
Yes.
Like it fucks you up.
Sunk cost.
So you
It
don't
does.
wanna-
It hurts bad, but at least
don't
you're just
wanna-
weeding them out from.
You are, but what,
Yeah.
if,
You know.
what about when you spend years and years?
Can
with
I ask you a
somebody and then
question?
they blindside you?
Are you someone that do you fall in love like not I don't want to say easily, but do you like have you been in love like a few different times in your life kind of a thing?
Not in love.
But that's what I'm just saying like your connection, you
She
know.
only loves that weight room.
Not in-
That's the only
I don't
thing
think
she
you love-
loves.
Not
She
in
loves.
love.
She loves
Okay.
that squat rack. That's the only thing she loves.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't fall in love particularly easily, but
So you got that ride or die mentality. That's why you're so
in the
good.
past, like, have I moved incredibly fast
Well, yeah, I
in
think-
relationships? Yeah, but it wasn't.
She's a very loyal person.
Yeah. Okay, that's
But it wasn't because, like, moving fast wasn't because, like, oh, I think I'm in love with this person.
Yeah, no, 1,000.
Even though
No,
I
I
might have said that.
1,000%.
Even though
yeah.
I might have said that.
I don't
wasn't.
think you've said that. I don't.
You get lost in the
Why was it
sauce.
then?
You lost in the
If
sauce.
I'm being honest, I don't think I've heard you tell any of your partners that you love them, ever.
Good for you.
We've been friends for how long now?
Brutal, evil. Hey, I do
years.
want to say one thing. I just realized I was remonetized a couple of weeks ago. I forgot to tell everybody this. Surprisingly, happened right after the inauguration, shockingly. And so I've been remonetized, and I want to let you guys know if you want to do super chats, you can do them on Rumble with Rollo. You can also super chat here with me
On your channel.
on my channel if you guys want to as well, and we can read those super chats because I am actually remonetized.
What's the super chat? I'm sorry.
Super chat, so they can actually, the people who are watching,
They
who are
wanna-
commenting right now, if
yeah.
they want to, they can pay a certain amount of money. It comes up different colors, and they get more characters the more money they pay, and then we'll read their questions up on the
okay,
screen.
shit, that's
Yep.
really cool.
So I've been able to
Awesome.
super chat since I first got. The day I crossed 100,000 subscribers was the same day I was demonetized.
Stop it.
Yeah, I got my plaque from YouTube, and then I
No
was
money.
demonetized at that.
Oh my god, of course.
Psych.
Okay, to answer your question, which was what do I fall in love easily?
Yeah, I know, and
or-
I had somewhere I was going with that, and I can't.
It's not.
I have
It's
ADHD, so I
not.
can't.
No, definitely not. But I think I commit easily. Which is probably like kind of delusional. Like
Yeah.
I think I just want to believe that it's gonna be
Yeah.
worth it. And
Well,
wanna-
Delulu world doesn't
yeah,
hurt nobody.
like I want to believe that like it's gonna be some like great fucking experience, and like it just isn't. But I mean, I can see that like in myself. So it's not. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's not like any of them actually showed me that they were worth it. It was just that I wanted to believe it so badly that I was like, I'm down. I'm down.
Funny.
I'm down.
Yeah,
Like,
men have the same problem. They just see a big pair of boobies and they're just like, I'm going to give this woman everything.
honestly, same.
And she's done. She hasn't done anything to earn it. Yeah, she's done anything to earn it. Yeah, it is a pretty big problem.
I think it was projecting. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm committed to titties. That's what they say.
Okay, got it.
100%.
I love it.
Titties.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, cool. Do we have any more?
I got one super chat from Rational Redneck. Said I would encourage every woman to follow the dating coach Jana Hawking. I don't know who that is. She's single, 40 years old, train wreck, and ghost of Christmas future. Great, thank you.
Oh, I see why.
Yeah,
It's like this is a
They're saying you
warning.
don't have a super chat button on your thing yet. Oh, we have to monetize you.
Oh,
have to-
I have to set it up. I
So-
apologize, guys.
Yep.
Well, I'll have it up by next week. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Can we watch the video?
Okay.
Yeah, could you? So
Which
do you have
one?
this Video? Do you remember
This
what
guy in
was
the
it called?
comments, he goes, they're attached to their own fantasy, not the man. Why would I be attached to the man? He's a trash
I
bag.
wish I could see. I'm so blind.
Trash bag.
Send it to me.
Pretty sure.
Can you
No,
go
I
by date
didn't.
modified and see? Remember when I just texted you?
I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Oh, yeah. Hold
Okay,
on.
so
You
it's
get
jealous.
Sure, I got it right here.
Just send it to you.
Residence. Is that the one? What? Was it the? Well, was it the?
Yes, that's it. Let's
Okay,
go.
here we
Everybody,
go.
look at the screen.
Okay, here.
Is why you should not make cinnamon rolls or any baked goods out of your yeast infection. I just want to do some damage control because I know I came on here and said I made cinnamon rolls out of my yeast infection and they turned out really good, and they did. They tasted really good, but we consumed them, and 2 days later these white spots start popping up on mine and my husband's tongue, and I'm Googling what that means, and it says it's oral thrush, which is essentially a yeast infection for your mouth, and the reason we have it is because we consumed my yeast infection. So what I thought was a very special Valentine's gift, truly a pastry made with love from things that came from my body, turned out to be the present of oral thrush. And it's not fun having it. It's not the most comfortable thing to live with. It's kind of painful, and I just feel so bad for giving it to my husband.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking
yeah, I
I need
can
to
see
make it
that.
up to him in some way.
Why? Just why?
This is the best. Wait. This guy. Wait.
Even pretend.
Put your face on
Daniel
the internet.
J.
You're pretending. That's so
If it
bizarre.
was that bad, her pussy wasn't even good enough to eat on Valentine's Day, let alone make bread out of. Like,
Daniel
damn.
Daniel J gets to comment of the night. Here it is. Cinnabon gone wrong.
I'm speechless.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wouldn't you need more yeast than that? Like how much yeast? Oh, I don't even want to.
Yeah, it's no, it's wrong.
Cinnabon gone wrong.
Extract the yeast. That's
Oh
just so
shit.
Wow.
Probably would have killed the bacteria though if she actually did do it. I mean, if it was like the heat, like it would have been okay.
What
but
on
it's still
earth?
fucking bizarre. I definitely think she's being dumb, but it's still a crazy video to like even show your face and pretend that you did this. Like, oh my god.
I think
People are
it's
now-
just
So
purposely trying to do
came up in
something weird to go
conversation
viral.
today.
Girl.
Yeah,
You're the girl that
Explain.
her yeast infection.
She's like, no, I'm joking. It was a joke. No, you didn't, bitch.
Nobody knows.
So I actually fact checked this. So this came up in conversation today. I was getting my lashes done and I was talking about it with my lash lady. And theoretically, I mean that's how you make bread. It's out of a yeast called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. I'm serious. So I was thinking about it and I was like, in theory, it could probably work. And my lash lady is on the same page as I am, same wavelength. She Googled it and we fact checked it. So
You can
do that?
yeah, apparently you can. And that girl did it, and there is articles online describing her process. I guess she went viral because
There's
of it.
so many other ways to
Isn't
bond.
it like an overgrowth?
Yeah, a lot of other ways.
So
to
many
bond.
other ways to
Candida
bond.
albicans
Like
is
bringing
the
another
yeast.
girl.
Bring
Candida
You know what I
albicans.
mean? Have a
Hey,
threesome.
wait, Anissa, just so we're clear.
What?
Fucking golden
Having a
shower would
threesome
be better
is
than that.
over
Jesus.
using your yeast to make cinnamon.
Yes.
Is that correct? I just want to make sure we're
Have
clear.
a threesome than
Yeah.
use my own
So
yeast.
threesome is better than using your
So
own yeast infection.
there is
Yes.
not different yeast for different beers. It's Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
Can I make beer out of my?
Is the type of
meat.
yeast that
the
it's
yeast
It's a
with-
wrap. It's a wrap.
used
now.
to make beers.
Hey.
We need to let the women's presence know
Can we get
today.
one more chair for
Oh hey, Armani.
Can we get one more chair for Armani? Okay,
Oh,
beautiful.
we have one. Yeah, cool.
Beautiful. We're gonna get one here for you. We're gonna set it up here in a second. Do we? Good. What did you think?
Oh my god.
Did you want to? So
You realize they actually sell yeast at the grocery store, right?
Rolo,
Pasteurized. Yeah.
Oh my God! Someone Someone said cunt cookies.
Oh yes, I love that cunt cookies.
Pussy pastries.
Oh my gosh, pussy pastries.
That's your marketing.
You guys move in this way a little
Seriously,
bit.
who are you?
this way.
DM me.
Actually, can you put on that side?
Kylie.Winters.
No, we have three
Please.
girls
Like,
on
that's brilliant. Oh, I'm so sorry. What do you need me to do?
Oh my god.
Move this way a little bit,
To
guys.
the left. To the left. Everything.
I love it. Okay, so yeah, Rollo's
What on earth would possess you to want to do that in the first place?
Rollo's upset that you guys didn't agree with the yeast pastries.
Yeast pastries. No.
Calamari,
Cinnabon.
jump in there. Awesome. Do you want to introduce yourself? Where are you from?
Sure. My name's Armani. I'm a Vegas local.
Armani, what do you do for a living?
I'm a singer.
You're a singer. That's right. Finally, Armani, this is the second time you've been on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were on in the old studio. I remember that.
we have another
Just make sure you get
musician.
close to the make sure you get close to the mic. Good. All right. Good to have Armani in here. Beautiful. All right, let's keep going. Do we have another video?
I love how we have girls come in the middle of the show. We don't kick them off in the middle of the show.
it's
We
the
get
opposite.
more girls on.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty
That's
wild.
how them threesomes start.
Yeah, that's how it works. They just show up. Now, the difference is between here and Miami is the girls here have to show up to work on time.
Yeah.
Whereas Miami, they're just like whenever. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they can show up to the guy's room. All right, go ahead. What's the next one?
Oh, let's do. You want to do that one? Let's do this one.
Just go now.
In order.
Out here, pretty much everything in life changed for me when I started doing everything that would make me more f***able. That sounds wild, but I'm telling you guys, there's like an innate component to life. You'll start making more money, you'll start feeling better when you just focus on all of the things that just show that you can lay f***ing pipe. I mean, period. So from like a training aspect, you know, the physique, physical stuff matters, fighting, mobility, hip movement, all of that. From fashion, design standpoint, how you dress, the music you listen to, how you talk, your charisma. If you put it at the center from a biological standpoint, that's like the easy lens to look through it. But on the other side of that, it objectively translates to more growth as a human in this current world that we exist in. And that's going to be timeless. I promise you it. The hard part is when people start calling it, you know, corny or this or that. But like zoom out and you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they are innately f***able. Even Zuckerberg's doing martial arts nowadays and getting a tan. I mean, come on, it is what it is. Send this to your ugliest friend.
There's
And
power in being sexy.
Define fuckable.
Well, it's, I mean, just depend. Attract someone you would have sex with.
Well, I mean, we mentioned Zuckerberg and, you know, like people with like money, you know, we just mentioned people with money. That doesn't mean that they're fuckable people. That just means because their money makes them
What do you
more
mean?
I mean,
fuckable.
his money makes him fuckable.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
So
I
what's
mean-
fuckable mean? Let's define, you know.
Yeah, I think all of you would find Zuckerberg fuckable. Go ahead. Armani, what do you think?
There's not enough money in the world. No.
Honestly, I don't know. Money really, it wouldn't do it for me.
Okay, so that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is you as a man level up when you do things that make women more attracted to you.
I
What do you guys
agree.
think about that? You do think so?
Yes.
Anybody else have any comments on this?
I think it's the same for women. If you,
Not necessarily.
well, I'm speaking for myself.
Okay.
Right. If I'm feeling not great, and I focus on like the things that I'm attracted to in somebody else, like 9 out of 10 times, it's one of those things that I'm not feeling great about. So if I'm not feeling great about like my body or something, I go to the gym. Okay, I feel better.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like that could fall under.
I think men are just as likely to have sex with you if you have a bad attitude or a
But
good attitude.
that's not what makes me feel better about myself.
No, that wasn't the
whether
point.
men want to fuck me.
Hold on, third
It's
time.
Whether I want to fuck me.
Time out. For the third time. What he said up there was when men do things that make them more attractive to the opposite sex, it helps them level up overall in life. When women do things that make them more attractive to the opposite sex, it does not necessarily help them level up in life. Those are two completely different things. That's the point of what he was trying to say was that.
I mean, I think all of those things make you just a more magnetic and attractive person in general to everyone in business.
I think it matters more for men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
I think
you do
really, really vapid, extremely attractive women have no trouble getting sex, even though they don't have a great personality and did not read a book this year. I think
but
they're just.
you're saying
I
that
agree
helps
with
them
that.
level up
Yeah.
overall, right?
Yeah.
So we're not just talking
So
about sex.
let me. So here's the thing: the things that make men maximally attractive also built society. like men competing with other men for access to women and access to resources is the whole reason we're sitting in a building, why there's internet, lights, the infrastructure. All this was men trying to provide and compete with other men in order to get access to women. That was it. So as men level up, yes, like for instance, when Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or Elon Musk or whoever, when they wanted to make more money, you guys see these guys are like dating, except for Zuckerberg, we're dating like supermodels. They were doing so. And in order to impress whatever girl they wanted, they made more money. They were more successful. And that's the thing. But for women, I know some women who are incredibly accomplished. I'm just saying that it just doesn't make men more attracted to them for being more accomplished. It's really hard. It's really hard for a lot of women to grasp this, because when I say this, I had a bunch of female pilots that I flew with back in the 350th Air Refueling Squadron back in Wichita, Kansas, and none of them were more attractive because they were good pilots. None of them. I'm sorry. They did not make my penis harder because they were a good pilot. It just didn't matter. It's the male cardiologist versus the female cardiologist. The male cardiologist makes a lot of money. He teaches at a university. He leads a group of people, and he's incredibly proficient at his job. That makes him professionally viable and makes him attractive to women. A female cardiologist, she does all the same thing. She's the department head at a university. She makes $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 a year as a cardiologist. Those two things do not make her attractive to the opposite sex, and it's just so hard for some women to grasp this concept.
Do you think that it's a job? So you just mentioned doctors, right? Or going out and doing, talking to people, speaking. Do you think it's the job that they do and the money that they make in that? Or do you think that even if they do something that exerts that confidence, that
we're talking about men or women?
Men. So that walking in and dominating a room. So
I think all of it. I think all of it. So getting in shape shows, like, again, when ladies, a lot of times when you see a dude who has like a marshmallow torso, it's like just kind of like a fluffy torso. What you're seeing is he can't protect me, and he's not going to be good in bed.
So did you become a pilot so you could fuck women?
Yes.
I'm not gonna tell you. So I wasn't a pilot. I was a navigator. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you that that when I joined, it wasn't a consideration that when I came home that a lot of girls would admire the fact that I had a.
But you didn't do it because you wanted to fuck.
Okay, so this is a different thing. So just like hypergamy is subconscious, so is men's desire for sexual validation. It is often subconscious as well. Meaning, like, if you go back and look at every single guy, everything they did to level up in life, in the end, it ends up with a wife and kids, or it ends up with sexual variety.
That's what I'm saying is that the things that men do that make them attractive to women also make them attractive as a person.
That's what I just said.
Their life and business
Agreed.
and everything.
Yeah, that was the point I just made.
Men do everything for pussy.
That's what I said.
Honestly.
Okay,
they do, and I feel like women do
directly
things
or indirectly
they respect what they're doing. Like women are not operating thinking about what is going to make me more attractive to men to some extent.
Because you don't have to worry about what's going to make you just exist.
Right, but that's because we're God's favorites.
Unless they're seeking out male validation, there's a lot of women who seek out male validation.
You grow out of that, hopefully. Eventually.
Some people don't.
Hopefully, right?
So what about
40-year-old pygmies?
Hopefully.
So apparently, like Thomas Edison or someone like died a virgin. Do you think he did everything for sex?
No.
That's a damn lie.
You're thinking Nikola Tesla.
He was the outlier.
Nikola Tesla. Tesla's the one.
He was
Maybe that's why they achieve so much.
He probably tried and failed.
Well, that was his whole. That was his whole rationale, right? I can, I don't focus on women, so I focus on my work. It's monk mode, is basically what it was for the time. Is all that.
Look how much
but
he
like,
achieved.
no, I was gonna say is that when we're working with guys in our relative programs, one of the first things we tell them is like, get in the gym, go to the gym, because 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the place that they need to start. Because if you look at the American population right now, 75% of the population is overweight. So odds are you're working with a guy who's fat. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is you get the guy into the gym. He starts working out. He starts feeling better. What happens is you have like money, muscles, and game, right? So you start with the muscles.
That Riz comes
and
in.
if the muscles start and the guy starts to look better, what happens? He looks better. People treat him differently, right? So now your game changes. Now your money might change. Now the things in your life start changing because people react to you much differently. And what happens? Your social situation changes. Guess what that does? It affects your money situation. So when we're talking about health, wealth, and relationships, money, muscles, game, whatever you want to talk, all of that's synergistic. Everything plays off of each other, but it has to start somewhere. And usually the first place it starts is to do something physically that makes you more fuckable, which is get your fat ass in the gym. Start getting, run, there's the treadmill, run till you're thin, right? Yeah. And so once you start doing that, you start feeling about yourself, then that affects other aspects of your life.
Do you guys remember what I said before? Men who were victims of physical assault were deemed to be less attractive by women. Again, this is in Dr. Buss's new Theory of Mind Evolutionary Psychology textbook. when he talks about this, what they're referring to is the wafy, skinny arms. That's what, like, the guys who look like they can't defend. That's what the women are saying. It's like, this man could not defend me. And that's why these men in general seem to be less attractive. So yeah, getting in shape is a very, very important thing for men because it translates. It's almost like it's the foundation that then translates into relationships and wealth is by having your health on point. It's really hard for a lot of people to grasp this. And what's made it even worse are the MGTOW guys who are just like, well, it doesn't make any difference if I'm skinny.
The juice doesn't
I
matter.
want to challenge the whole gym thing though.
Hold on a second. The fucking black pill guys who think it doesn't matter that you're in shape, it makes no difference. And then there's a couple, the pickup artists who are like, oh, you're enough. Even if you're fat, you're just going to get all these girls. That is kind of ruining the discussion. No, you need to be in better shape. Whenever I hear about guys going overseas, like passport bros, I'm like, unless you're below 14% body fat, I don't want to hear about you being a passport bro. That means you haven't, like, lose the weight first before you get to that point. Go ahead.
Yeah, you.
Okay, no. So my whole thing with the whole like gym thing, right? So going to make yourself more fuckable and be sexy and this, that, and the other versus when guys go to have their ego stroked. So now they can go out and they can get all these women come through. That makes a weak man. So if you go to the gym, if you go to the gym and you go do that, and you come out and like you're gonna go find a woman to make your world, and like you want to make yourself more. That's one thing. But when you go, so it's a little dicey when us females see you gym folks. How like determining you just muscle man just trying to get the attention versus you're doing this for yourself and your own goals
but if I were to look at the data, men who have more narcissistic tendencies do they do better or worse with women? There's a lot of data on this.
They do better but worse for us. They do better on paper but worse behind closed doors. Behind closed doors it's shittier.
Better or worse?
No, women can also like movement like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
But what kind of women?
It depends.
What kind of women though? What
yeah,
kind
it
of
depends
women
on the type of women. It can't be.
You're doing better with women.
No.
What kind of women?
They hate the love.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna deal with
I
that.
think if we're just generalizing, like, hey, a
Hotter, thinner women?
guy, like versus I'm like kind of timid, whatever.
Who wants
the
a
narcissistic guy is like probably gonna fuck
I don't want a
girls.
narcissist.
So, like, if we're
It's absolutely the data is extremely
deceptive.
clear on this. Yes, the data is extremely
yeah,
clear on
I
this.
mean that's
It's
just
called
being
the Dark
honest,
Triad traits, which is narcissism, sociopathy, and Machiavellianism, which is mostly narcissism. Yes, people who are narcissistic, because they're more likely to go up and talk to you as a stranger. They're more likely to just be
You're talking
more
about
outgoing.
Superficial narcissism, though.
Any kind of narcissism, whatever. More narcissistic men do better with women. Period. And that's not a function of men. It's a function of women.
They have a high success rate
Yes.
when initially going for them, but over time, it always goes to
Yes,
shit.
and then when I'm waiting, when I'm 30, remember, and I'm waiting, it's like, oh, well, yeah, I understand. You didn't have a strong connection with all those narcissists you fucked. Sorry. Okay, I'm fine now. It's totally fine. Let's get married.
You're so not like all those other guys.
The 70% of
Don't
women.
blame that on women because that's all deception.
But also, so you're saying that they do better with women, but then 70% of women initiate divorce. So then they're still getting divorced.
No,
So do they actually do better with women?
So most people aren't narcissists. Most men are not narcissists. But most people who get divorced are not. Neither person is a narcissist.
So let's go back to the guys that bullied in high school.
Yes,
we talked about that.
Well, again,
right?
most men don't bully in high school, but yes.
Okay, but the ones that do better with women.
Yes.
Then they still end up divorced.
No, so the divorce is an entire cohort of all married people in the United States. People who bully is not even 50% of the people who live in the United States. Not even 25%. So those two numbers don't collate.
We need to find out what percentage. Of
ask Perplexity. Ask Perplexity. Whatever.
Well, the problem is the problem you're going to run into is that so few people, the population of people. So few people are actual clinically diagnosed narcissists. Every guy's a narcissist. Every guy you've ever broken up with is a narcissist afterwards. So it's something that we'll use as sort of a cop out so that we can feel better about ourselves and dismiss the guy and move on to something else. But as far as the wanting to look better, wanting to look hotter, as far as the dark triad personality traits, I can give you one stat that irrefutable. All you got to do is look at the amount of units sold for 50 Shades of Grey within the first month that it was out. 65 million units, not advertised. It was self-published. It was word of mouth. And everything about that, everything in that book is nothing but a woman attracted to dark triad traits.
A woman attracted to a narcissist.
And the movie,
Yes.
the movie.
Never
By the way,
read
the movie trailer is still the number one most viewed trailer on YouTube right now.
I've never saw it, never read it.
Yeah.
Again.
Same.
All right, cool. Do you want to go to another one?
Sure. Okay, here's a good one. This is a good follow-up.
Said, like, I want a nice guy. I've always been into, like, the heads or, like, the douchebags of the male community because I was so traumatized by them. First, I'm sitting there being like, I want a nice man. Like, why can't a guy just come to my life and be so nice and, like, be obsessed with me? And then I find, like, a guy that's really nice, and I am so thrown off. Like, I really did find a guy who's, like, super fucking nice. Like, the most respectful, like, anything I really need, like, he's gonna do it for you. I'm sitting there like, like, I'm the problem. I'm the fucking problem. I do want a healthy relationship. Okay, I really do. More than anything, that's what I want. I think I just still need a guy who, like, gives me a run for my money. I'm so the problem because, like, you're nice. Like, literally, like, Connor from Love Island vibes. But, like, it's just too nice.
Ladies, what do you think about that?
Women don't like nice guys. They don't respect them, I don't think.
Thank you, Myron.
I agree with that statement.
Thank you, Myron. Go ahead.
I think women like, at least for me, like, I like a nice asshole. Like, hey, you treat me with respect. You're,
Nice
you know,
asshole.
nice. But, like, if I'm being a bitch, like, you put me in my place. Like, you don't let me walk all over you. So
Thank you. I'm sitting
I do
right
think-
here. I'm right here.
Right.
You
I
are
understand.
a nice asshole.
I'm sitting right. I'm
Yeah,
right here in
I think
front of
that's
you.
what most women and men need to understand that. Like,
Facts.
hey, yes, we do want you to be nice and respectful, but don't let us walk all over you because women will literally they
will.
How do you
we
like
are
them?
animals. We are animals.
We are.
How do you like them to put you in your place, though? Like, in a
I
nice
think-
way?
Murder
Or
apes.
I mean, it just depends on the person. Like, if I'm like, hey, fuck you, whatever, like, hey, do not talk to me like that. Like, that's not okay. That's not how we handle things. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I can't give you like a perfect example, but there's.
But if a guy snapped at you,
but I
it's
do
like
think there's like
energy
an
and
energy, like where you respect a man, and he's like, hey, like that's not okay. Like, don't let that shit happen again. Like, hey, we're gonna do this. Oh, you're complaining? Too bad. Like, this is what we're gonna do, or where we're
To
gonna
me,
go.
that
But it all
sounds nice,
depends on if
though.
the woman
Like, that
respects
sounds like a
it.
nice
Not enough.
person to, hey, this is my boundary, not like you shut the fuck up. Like, that's not nice.
Sometimes I do need to be told
Well,
shut
I'm
the
a
fuck
bitch.
up.
Yeah, I'm a-
Sometimes
yeah.
sometimes
I don't want anybody
don't
to
think that's
ever
a-
talk to me
I
like
think
yeah,
that's a
girl,
terrible
I'm
thing.
with
Yeah.
you.
But sometimes
But I don't talk to
If-
people like that
if
either.
I snap
Yeah.
at someone, and I don't really believe in like cussing, like at your partner or anything, but like, hey, if I'm like raising my voice, I don't think it would be a bad thing if he's like, hey, like, do you want me to talk to you like that? Like, I don't know.
Like, we're not gonna do that right now.
Yeah.
Like, check
Yeah.
yourself real quick.
Yeah.
You have a problem. You know.
So to me, that's nice.
Or just
to me,
fuck
that's
you and, like,
somebody
you
who's
know,
nice
but-
with boundaries.
But there also has to be, yeah, exactly, boundaries. That's a big thing. Like, you can respect someone, but it has to be like reciprocated. You know, as a man, I want to respect my man and make sure that, you know, I'm not being too like out of line. Yeah, put me in my place, but respectfully. Don't be disrespectful and don't make me feel less than just because I might be in a like bad mood, you know?
I think for myself too, I think I also like kind of, we were talking about, you know, like elementary school, like the kids that were teasing us, the boys that were teasing us, like maybe a little like funny teasing banter. I do like that at least. Like, hey, he's kind of a dick sometimes, but at least for me, just because I do think I can be kind of an asshole. So I don't like someone who is too nice because then I think I can get kind of like bored.
Banter is one
It's
thing, but
too
when
subjective too, because like if you say like, oh, I like it when this guy's like an asshole, right? But then next second it's like, well, you're being an asshole. It's like there's two different sides.
There's a
to
thin
be, and
line.
there is a time and place to be sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, if
I mean,
you're at
it's
the
never-
wrong time and place, it's not sassy.
It's never gonna be ideal. It's never
You're
gonna be
just
perfect.
kind of being
like,
a twat.
if you're kind of an asshole sometimes, like there's gonna be times where you're being too much of an asshole.
Yeah,
So
and that's
like,
where
it's not gonna be
communication-
perfect all the time.
No
Like,
girl's ever
but-
said, I don't want a respectful man. So it's not nice, it's just respectful.
I always say respectfully disrespect the fuck out of me. Like, you know, in the bedroom. Like, respectfully
all right,
disrespect
so-
the fuck out of me. You know, like that. So,
This is
You have to know what you're talking
this is
about.
what-
though. Like, you have to
and that,
get,
listen,
if
I
you
say
get
that
it,
to
you get
You
it.
know me. You know me if I'm saying that to you.
This is where the confusion comes a lot. So most of the time, as men and with women, if you have a job, if I go to my job, I'm a sales. I'm on the telephone, high ticket salesperson, and I meet all my KPIs and I crush it. I'm the top salesperson in my firm. What happens is my job then rewards me with responsibility, promotions, and more money. Does that make sense? So when I do better or when I do what my employer asked me to do, I'm rewarded with more responsibility and money. When I do the same thing in my relationship with a woman, I am punished horribly. If all I do is what my girl wants, and at no point do I set my own boundaries, I just do whatever she wants, she is always going to leave you because it doesn't make any difference. It's one of these situations where you have to be able, as a man, even if it's 51-49, you need to be able to lead. If all you do, any woman out there, if all you did was everything she wanted to do, you only ate where she wanted to eat, and you did everything because you heard this fucking lie, happy wife, happy life bullshit. If you did that, then eventually she will leave you. Part of the reason there's a 56% divorce rate in this country is because men receive terrible advice when it comes to dating from Disney, the church, matchmakers, dating coaches, and big tech. They're the ones giving this terrible fucking advice.
I know.
Whether it's Chris GQ Perry, or if it's Will Hitchens, or if it's Justin Baldoni, these people who don't have any idea what they're talking about, trying to give men advice. You need to earn, as a man, you need to earn the fucking right to be vulnerable in front of a woman. You don't need to be vulnerable from day one. You need to earn that right. And she needs to earn the right to make you want to be vulnerable. But on the first date, these motherfuckers are like, my last 3 girlfriends cheated on me. I don't really understand. I just really wanted to find some, I'm just looking to get married.
Well, another
I'm
thing
just
about-
like, I'm really
looking for connection.
I'm looking for a connection with someone. Can you imagine if you're a man and you talk about the last 3?
Well, it's just like going into a job and demanding a $300,000 salary.
Sure.
You know, and then also with the job, you do have boundaries. You clock out and you go home.
I agree, but when I do what's asked of me, I get rewarded.
Yes,
in a
you
relationship,
do.
if I
Yes,
do
you
everything
do.
that's asked of me, I've been in situations in relationships before where she's like, just don't talk about this or don't bring this up and everything will work itself out, and the opposite would happen. So I'm telling you, as a man, you're going to have to lead. When she's gonna, everything in the world, you're gonna be like, man, it would be so much easier if I just fucking did everything she wanted, and then we would just be so much happier. And what happens is eventually you're a rudderless ship, and then she starts walking all over you. That's what happens.
Well, would you like 80%
same
of
with
what we
your boss,
want though?
though.
Like
Huh?
how? Like what's the percentage of you'll do of what we want? Like we do like 80% of what we want? Like, where's
See,
the
Hailey,
line
the issue with you is
Yeah,
that I'm
it's
pretty sure you are totally fine with men who would do 100% of what you want.
But I make it fun.
Yeah, you make it fun.
Yeah.
Off camera with other dudes. With other dudes.
That's so funny.
Off camera.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is that almost the same thing as you. I feel like it's a balance, you know, between being that guy that does everything that you want, you know, and literally like kind of what I've heard you talk about in other episodes before, a simp. There's a balance between that and, you know, being in your most masculine. And I think that when you lead a woman the right way, I think that's what it is. You have to lead her in the right way.
Well, that's what simping is. Simping is an unequal exchange of
yes,
value.
Yes. But as a woman, you have to be open to following your guy too,
Yes.
you know, and taking the lead.
And that's so crazy, that topic. Like, I feel like that's been the theme these past few months for me because I'm the eldest
Same for
daughter.
me.
I'm like used to tight ship. My mom made sure I had to take care of my siblings. So, you know, dating in my early 20s is unlearning some bad habits and, you know, gaining some new ones, but, you know, respectfully. And I'm learning how to listen and let someone take the lead for once.
And it
get
doesn't
the
mean
load
you're
off
being
my shoulders.
submissive. It just means you're taking, you know, you are, but you're following the lead. It's like there's this other YouTuber that I follow, and he describes it as a dance. So I wish I could remember what's the name of the YouTube channel, but I listen to it a lot because since my divorce, the last 2 years, I've just really been trying to grow a lot in my relationships and realizing and learning a lot of things that I did wrong, you know, as a woman. And it's one of those channels that I watch, yeah, and he talks about that a lot.
Nice.
It's like a dance, like let the man lead the dance.
So here's the issue. The concept when I say a man needs to lead in a relationship, some people who listen to this in a vacuum are like, oh, that's more of that misogynistic red pill talk that they're hearing. Do you know where I get this idea that men need to lead in a relationship? I get it from women who are constantly telling me that men need to lead in a relationship. It's not
If you don't
misogynistic.
let them lead, are you going to do everything?
Correct.
Right.
Then you're going to fucking have to do it.
Well, and
Then you're not going to be in your feminine.
No, and my feminine is I kind of in circles, and I need to be. Hey, we're going this way. Oh, okay, do. You know, like
Ooh, girl.
I'm that like kind of female. You know, as independent as I can be. But I think you do have a point with that. The men coming in allows you to be like take away that like whole, you know, oh, I know I'm going north. You know what I mean? It's like just like bring it in your hands. I feel like it's like that whole like trust and warmth.
Kind of be willing and open for change too.
Us like women don't get in our feminine energy that much these days. I feel like.
Armani, do you find it difficult to sort of like allow that for yourself?
Absolutely.
With guys, like it's hard to trust.
Yeah, and that's so crazy you said that. Absolutely. Like I said, I have to unlearn a lot of bad habits, but it came from trust issues and, you know, past tense things. And now that I'm learning more about myself and I'm comfortable with myself, I'm willing to like open up for the right person, but they have to earn it, you know? That's just what it is. Not everybody gets that version of me.
Yes.
But when they do get it, it's beautiful, I'm telling you. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
That is beautiful.
Thanks.
Well put.
Oh my God, stop. That's so
the reason
sweet.
I'm bringing that up is because one of the most common problems I hear from like these shows from women, not even just this show, but other shows as well, is that they like men ain't shit. So they can't find the guy who they would feel comfortable like sort of relinquishing that sort of trust or relinquishing that power. I don't like using the term submission either. I usually use the term deference. Like if the guy has authority, you're deferring to his authority. Meaning like he's going to say, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing today. Like, and it's you're guiding the ship kind of thing. You're the one who's actually, you know, driving the car. Now, I kind of liken this to like when I first started dating my wife. The first thing she did was she handed me the keys to her car. And I never met a woman who'd done that before. And that was kind of like the analogy or whatever, you know, the metaphor for the rest of our marriage, right? Was she gave me the keys to her car. Usually it's like you're dating somebody, it's like you're driving your own damn car because I don't trust you to drive me or anything like that. Like right from the jump, it's like, here's the keys, you're in the driver's seat, you're driving the car. And that's, you know, like whenever I've had to move to different places or if I had like a business opportunity to move to even out of state, it was never, hey, what about my friends? What about my family? What about this? She just said, you're my husband and I go where you go. And that was just the defining moment of the whole relationship right there. And I don't think enough women can trust guys in that power dynamic simply because they've been taught that men are inherently untrustworthy. They're either Homer Simpson, they're incompetent, or they're borderline abusers. And if those are the three choices that women get in sort of the modern dating world, I can totally understand why they wouldn't want to do that because they're looking for long-term security. If they can't trust, like if the general definition of a guy is those three choices, then yeah, you're going to want to make your own damn money, get your own degree, have your own business. I got the bag. I can't trust men for my long-term security, much less defer any kind of authority to these guys. So that's why the guard is up, and that's why I asked you that, Armani.
And if you're not fucking me right at the end of the night, I'm sorry. What authority?
You're laying down a good dick has got to be part of that too.
Like, let's just
Is it better? Is it better if it's on camera? Is it better?
You are gonna fight at the end of this.
I'm just curious. I just want to
As long as it's on camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna off camera square up with you.
You guys are built different.
I think that's one of the biggest points of contention in all of these shows. It really, like when I have to go and watch, for sake of educating myself for these shows or looking for like clips and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, that's the problem. The problem is women have been taught that men are inherently untrustworthy. So therefore they have to create their own security for themselves in the long term.
I don't know if it's they've been taught as much as they've learned. They've learned that.
We walk through parking lots with our keys in between our hands.
Well, motorcycle.
You got to remember it wasn't always like prior to the sexual revolution. That wasn't the case. It was just, this is just how it is. Your grandparents, even your parents didn't have to think about stuff like that. You do, because ever since we got out of like the Gloria Steinem era of feminism, post sexual revolution, it's everybody for themselves. Everybody's the same. Men and women are the same. It's all the blank slate. It's all social constructionism, and it's simply not. And so as a result of that, we're trying to clean up the mess of the last 60 years, and part of that mess is women can't trust men.
A little off topic, but I asked my mom sort of jokingly what it was like to not be able to have a bank account back when she was younger. And she gave me a pretty serious answer. She said, I don't know. I didn't think about it. I went and cashed my check at the drugstore and we just got cash. But she said life was no different back then. There was no tension just because women weren't allowed to have a bank account.
Yeah, and men were allowed to cheat without internet, blowing their asses up. Like, The fuck? Like, so much has changed. Like, us women became more knowledgeable of what all the men were doing, back in the day on those office visits and shit,
I feel like...
Look at the Mormons going on their, like, business trips and stuff.
Yeah.
Come on now. We saw that documentary.
I think it's a vicious cycle, though. It's like everything that you said, but at the same time, with today, it's just so confusing, with the whole feminine masculine thing. And I feel like the more feminist we get, the more we're demasculizing men.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
So what's the cure to all this? How do we?
Oh, you want my answer?
I want your answer.
Oh yeah, no, there's no cure. We're all fucked. How did you guys not know?
Confusing.
Did I not explain that before?
The meteor has to come.
Did I not explain it? I thought I explained this before. Yeah. So
I feel like it's understanding.
There is there is no solution. If there was a solution, you would have found a guy when you were 18. You would have married him and you would have stayed with him forever. There is no solution. This is how the world is. In the next 25 years, men will be fucking robots. All of this will be over. I don't understand what you guys. Did I not explain this well enough?
I know you did.
It makes
me ill.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm just looking up at the meteor coming down, wiping us all out. Fucking dinosaurs.
It's like any day dinosaur.
I thought I was very clear about this. There is no solution to any of this. The solution is, as a man, you just figure out, like, I'm on the Titanic. I'm getting a bunch of lifeboats, and I'm taking a couple guys who want to join MOA, and they get to jump on the lifeboat with me, and then we get to live a better life until our grandkids start fucking.
How many bikini model contestants can jump on lifeboat too?
Here's the solution. Here's the solution.
I need to know. Have you ever fucked a
guys,
robot?
do everything that makes you more fuckable. Then that's your solution right there.
Then you can get on the lifeboat.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just asking Mike if he's ever fucked a robot.
I've never fucked a robot. No.
That's
Anyone here
insane.
ever fucked a robot?
No.
That's true.
Oh my god.
I think women beat
fucking
men
robots for years.
Women have already been doing it.
Oh boy, here we go. Shout out to Mac and Murphy, the vegan I just found out today.
Okay.
Is the divorce rate truly going down right now? And if so, why do you believe that is happening?
I don't know why it's happening, but I know that it's happening. It could stand to reason that the reason we're seeing divorce declining is because the people who do marry get married later and do so after more years of dating. Again, both of which are associated with positive outcomes.
Yep.
Another possibility is that we see the marriage rate is also declining concomitantly. And it's plausible that many of the people who would have gotten married and divorced back in the day now just don't get married at all.
Yeah.
And so that is part of what's lowering the divorce trends as well. It's one of the more surprising things. I think everyone has this loose impression that divorce is on the rise and divorce is, crazy common, but divorce has been consistently dropping. I believe we are the least divorced generation since the 1970s.
Yeah, that makes sense. And even from a matchmaking perspective, people talk about, their values aligning, lifestyles aligning, politics aligning, religion. Like, I think people are a lot more
careful.
Careful and thoughtful for like every step of the way. And they're willing to walk away if there's a deal breaker and they're not rushing into something. And maybe that's because they perceive that there are more options out there because social media and the dating apps.
There were all these other reasons. I mean, we just talked about having sex on the first date. I mean, there was stigma against premarital sex as well.
Oh,
and
true.
you can say like, oh, that's maybe it was better that way. And in some ways, it's possible that it was, but in this way, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
Which is that some people got married because they were extremely sexually attracted to each other and wanted to have that experience. And anyone who's been in multiple relationships knows that, sexual compatibility, while it's very important, it's not everything. You can't build a marriage based off that.
No. Yeah.
And so being interested in each other physically and, putting the cart in front of the horse, that doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. So that could have also been one of the reasons why.
There you go. Okay, awesome. Guys, divorce rates going down. What do you think?
People they're not getting married in the first place.
Okay. That was one of the things. Anybody else have any ideas on this? No?
You can absolutely base a marriage on sex. Let me tell you, I can firsthand.
Go ahead. Amani?
No, I agree with what you said. Yeah, a lot of people aren't getting married, but I feel like some people fear marriage. They like have this like concept of it that it's just supposed to be like sunshine and rainbows. Not all people, but everyone I've talked to, or like majority of people I've talked to, they're like, oh, I want to marry my soulmate or the perfect person for me. And people don't really like compromise with other individuals and try to like open their mind a little more to get to like know other people's personalities and maybe, you know, expand themselves in a way. So I feel like not a lot of people are getting married because they don't want to and because they're not like open-minded enough to find the person they actually want to be with.
Can I piggyback a little bit on her? What made me kind of just really ill and like irritated me about this video is when they brought up, people looking into, you know, their political views and, you know, how their views on this, that, and the other. And not one thing was just about anything with depth, anything with just value, what you just, how you view the world, anything spiritual, anything that's worth something that when you're growing and when you're old, like that you have like in common. Who gives a fuck who the president is at the end of the day? Who gives a fuck what religion is fucking growing and thrive? It is your world at the end of the day. The outside world should not depict who it is that you end up with. And I just feel like that, our marriage is ending, this, that, and the other, but no one is trying to go for depth these days. I feel like a lot of things are very superficial these days. And that's my personal experience, and that's the experience that I've seen with others. And no one's willing to go into the darks and the depths with other people and see other people's darkness and accept and grow with one another. Mm-hmm. We're so quick to cut off.
And deeper than politics and religion.
Then that is where that's where your depth and that's where yours is. And then when you find someone, then that's where you guys will meet.
What's darker and deeper than marriage?
Well, yeah. So I have a very different answer for that. So that's why to each their own, and to each companionship is very different. To what? So you have that, and I have my view, right? And so therefore, like, why are we not even, you know, so even that view alone, they didn't even say like, oh, do you find that very deep and true to you as those kind of topics? It's nothing that's deep to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just focus on the deepness. If that's your deep, if your deep is, you know, whatever, X, Y, and Z. It's hard for me to say the things without.
Can I run the numbers first?
Go ahead.
I gotta run the numbers.
Go ahead,
Let's fact check that.
All right. So let me explain to you why Mackin's got it all ass backwards. First off, we are now at 6.1 marriages per 1,000, which is the lowest marriage rate in recorded history in the United States of America. That's number one. Number two is the divorce rate spiked when? 1965, right after hormonal birth control was introduced to the United States and popularized, which, by the way, you can trace back every social ill in the 21st century back to right around anywhere between 1965 and 1971. That's number two. So you have this rise in divorces, you have this drop in marriage, and then so what happens right after that is you got this complete like falling off a cliff of marriage rates. Well, guess what's dependent on the marriage rates? The divorce rates. So what happens then is you've got this divorce rate that follows the marriage rate. And right now, I think what they're trying to do, and this is, I keep hearing this from like traditional conservatives like Matt Walsh, especially from Matt Walsh, they just don't understand mean averages, okay? So we also have to look at the divorce rate as it stands right now, the general divorce rate in the United States, according to James Sexton, his stats, 56%, okay? Why is that? Because they take all of the first marriages, second marriages, third marriages, and combine all of them into one aggregate result. If you take first marriages, you can see that it's probably around between 45 and 50%. Second marriages, somewhere in the neighborhood of 65%.
It's 52, 63, and 71 or 72.
Okay, so we have to take those numbers into account as well. So who's getting remarried, who's not getting remarried, and are those ending up in divorce as well? So there's also the raw divorce rate, and then there's the refined divorce rate. So to go and throw this out as some sort of hopeful, everything's going to be better because the people who are getting married are not getting divorced as much as they used to be. But the thing is marriage sells, but nobody's fucking buying now.
Agree.
Okay?
But that was his point in the originally as well.
I want to know who still has faith after trying number two.
Yeah.
Number three or number four.
You know, it's funny. So I talked to
men primarily.
I talked to James Sexton about this, and he was talking about this. When people get divorced, they would come to him. He's a divorce attorney. They'd be like, "I'm never doing this again. I'm never getting married." And he's like, "Oh, it's so sad." He goes, "Because 86% of the time you go back and get married again."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very common. People will go back. Yeah. But your third marriage, it's like high 70s or mid 70s, the probability of you getting a divorce.
Yeah. So raw numbers aside, like why I love how there's this sort of like hopefulness about it, but the thing is it's not even so much focusing on the divorce rate. It's like if marriage was such a great deal right now, we wouldn't be at 6.1 per 1,000 right now. That's the figure you need to focus on, and that's the discussion that needs to be had. Yeah, I think what's happened is we've sort of we've completely destroyed, or we've rewritten the social contract that marriage, like 20th century marriage, used to be based on. So in a pre-sexual revolution society, when we didn't have hormonal birth control, and women were, the thing is hormonal birth control was a landslide, a nuclear bomb to Western society, well, actually a global society right now, because what did it do? It changed the nature of the relationship between men and women. So now you have a pill that will prevent pregnancy that only one sex is in charge of. So you've got, and prior to that, if men and women wanted to come together, the social contract meant that I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to provide, protect, and provision for you, and you are only going to have sex with me. We're going to have babies together, and that was way.
Fucking 60 damn years ago, you guys fucked it up, and this is why it is where it is. So
and
I don't know why
I'm explaining to you.
Damn it, you're literally reiterating shit that we fucking did 20, 30, fucking 57 years
I'm
ago.
explaining to you why
you fucked it up. So why don't you explain why you fucked it up and figure it out before I fucking flip the script?
He did not.
Damn.
I'm explaining.
He did not create hormonal. He did not create hormonal birth control.
I did not create hormonal birth control.
Neither did
you were in a room with females. We are sensitive.
Well, let me explain something to you. Why is it that we can put like landers on the fucking surface of Mars, but we still haven't figured out how to make a pill for men?
I don't know. Like preach.
You know why? You know why? You know why?
Sure.
Because the incentives and the money is not there. That's why. Yes. So the entire point I'm making here is that the hormonal birth control is what has set that everything you just talked about, everything in motion as a result of the fact that we can now have sex without the worry of pregnancy.
Let's talk about consent with that too, because I mean, in my experience as a teenager, we turn 15 and they're just like, here's some orthotricycline, try it out. Just throw it on young women.
Oh,
I stopped taking birth control when I was 20 because of the effects that it was having on me.
Terrible effects, by the way.
I mean, as far as the chemical effects aside, you have to look at the social effects.
Parents were pushing it on young women
yes,
too,
they were.
because
always
being
don't
afraid
get
of them getting pregnant.
Yeah. We used to have back in the 90s. We had this crazy thing called teenage pregnancy. It was a big problem.
Yeah,
we don't have that problem anymore because no one has sex anymore. That problem is gone. There's no more TJ. And by the way, drunk drivers, like 16-year-old teenage drunk drivers, not a problem anymore because no one has a car. Everyone drives. Everyone's Uber.
Insurance is too high.
We got rid of all this stuff.
So what's the
we can't afford eggs anymore, guys.
Birth control then.
There is no solution.
We're
we're not talking about a solution.
We're here for solutions.
We are here to describe the problem. I mean, the solution here. Ready? When you're dating a guy, ready? Here's the solution. When you guys are dating a guy, pay attention to what he does and not how you feel about it, and you'll win. None of you will listen to anything I'm saying.
God, I hate when you say truthful shit that goes against everything I do.
Yes, yeah.
Men are a lot more logical.
If you want all your relationships with men to go well, here, pay attention to what he does and not how you feel about it.
But you got to think, women are emotional creatures.
I agree,
naturally.
but you're just making an excuse for why your relationship is going to tank. And I'm telling you, if you just pay attention to what he does and not how you feel about it, you will find you got the right guy or you don't have the right guy.
You're right. You do have to be more logical when going into relationships, especially if you're younger, because men are actually not that complicated. They're going to tell you how they feel about you by their actions.
Have a guy friend who's like very experienced and ask him about the guy that you're dating, and he will tell you with 100% accuracy exactly what is going on in the relationship.
Oh my God.
And it's going to hurt your feelings.
You want to know when a man wants to marry you? You know how he knows? He'll ask you to marry him.
Yes.
He's just kind of going through some shit right now. I'm not really sure. But guys, you're just making this shit up. Pay attention to what. Don't take all the words. Consider all the conversations and activities you've done with this man. Remove all the words. Just pay attention to what he's done and stop worrying about how you feel about it. And you will ultimately know the result of all of your relationships if you do this. That's it. And for men, it's the same problem. It's a little different because men give their intent and love to women simply because of sex and their physical attraction to them. And those women did nothing to deserve it. And so because of that, men get themselves in trouble because they get, pussy whipped, and then women get digmatized, and that's what happens.
How do we know you give us attention past the pussy whipping moment?
Again, pay attention to what he does. So like if I'm introducing you to my parents, and then I'm introducing you to my clients, and then I'm introducing you to like my closest friends, then you should pay attention to what I do, not how you feel about it.
You're
if you
right.
feel
I
all
mean,
the
men can still do that and still cheat on you, though.
again, but you're asking for some solution to like
Right.
being able to tell. I can't tell you how to read someone's mind.
What-
I can tell you a high correlation to someone's mind is their actions. And if like I introduce you to my clients, whatever, we spend all this time together, the other problem is you feel insecure because I give other women attention, but I don't cheat on you. Pay attention to what I do, not how you feel about it, and then you'll be happy with a relationship.
Okay. What about what you do versus what you say?
I would absolutely not concern myself with what a guy says. It's only what he does.
Men, they
I mean,
lie.
there's a little bit of truth in that.
There's very little truth in what people say. Guys, if you actually like looked at the amount that people exaggerate, or they have these. People will say what they want to believe is true about themselves, and inherently, if you put you had a polygrapher there, what is it?
Polygraph.
Polygraph. You'd find out that the person isn't lying. He truly believes the thing that he's saying, even though the thing is not true. Same thing with women. It's like, I don't sleep with guys on the first date, and then you put a polygraph on them. They're telling the truth. Then you go look at their last 5 relationships, and they slept with the guy on the first date. It's like in their mind, they need to say what they want to believe is the truth. And so because of that, I just don't listen. Rule number 1 in Men of Action: we don't listen to the words. We only pay attention to people's actions. We don't. That's it. And so when I've done that, again, don't trust people you've known for a long time. Trust trustworthy people. And if you just pay attention to what the dudes do and stop worrying about how you feel about it, you will get the right answer all of the time.
Yeah, because you can't worry if it makes you feel sad, makes you feel indifferent, or any kind of way that you don't
No,
like.
I've just seen too many times where like that moron Chris GQ Perry is like, oh my God, I had a dream. This girl had a dream that her man was cheating, and so he left. I was like, no. Did he cheat on you? No. But how do you feel about it? Well, I feel like he cheated on me. If you could just get rid of the I feel like he cheated on me, you'd have a happy relationship.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
I agree with you.
Women,
It's
some
so
people do have
hard.
intuition, and so we
Yeah.
should really ignore
Yes.
that. But I mean, it's not like
You ready to go with this one again? Okay.
No, but it's not
I'm on too much
logical.
promethazine.
No,
Yeah.
because it's right. Like
You know,
80% of the time.
I mean, women. I think we could take some feelings like, oh, whatever, like
Exaggerate,
I could slow down a
overreacting.
little bit sometimes, but it's like
Hey, just
all
slap
your
an
problems.
air tag on his car and investigate your intuition.
Yeah, there you go.
If I can't trust you, I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Because coming from an overthinker, I'm already overthinking so much shit. So you're right. Pay attention to the actions. Whatever you're showing me, that's what I'm going to believe.
The problem is like when you want to be analytical about things, like women want to play the game. They don't want to be told that they're playing a game. They want to enjoy themselves in that moment, and that's the emotional rush that you get from that. So the questions where you're asking yourself, does he like me? Does he not like me? Does he really want to get married? Does he not want to get married? Like that uncertainty right there. That is very, very emotionally satisfying. That is like trying to use your intuition and your your feminine mystique or whatever the fuck you think it is, right? That because it's very satisfying because you want to know that that's reliable. And it's really not all that reliable, but it does feel good when you're trying to like figure it out using that. But you're in your feminine, right?
And then once you get
your
that
feminine is your
reassurance,
emotional
you're like,
is your emotional state.
love you.
Now, what you really need to ask yourself is, do I really want this answer? Or do I not want this answer? And so, because sometimes you might not want to hear the answer.
Yeah,
the
some
answer,
guys
the
tell the
answer
truth,
might be
and it's
he's
like-
just waiting it out until somebody else comes along.
Or my own answers. Sometimes like they fall in for me. I'm like, do I really like you?
You know, here's another one. Here's another hard truth. Sometimes you're with a woman who like is so emotional that when you tell her the truth all the time, she can't handle it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm being put in a situation where I either break up with you or I have to lie to you.
So then what do you do? Do you give it more chances?
Obviously, I
Or do
would
you-
never lie. That's the answer.
Obviously, that's better.
That's really
the
good.
answer. I would never lie.
I'd
okay?
rather hear the truth. I don't care how bad it hurts me.
And
Tell
some
me.
people can deal with that. Some people
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, I'd rather.
Hey, listen, I love you, but your sister's also hot. Like
That
some people
is
don't want to hear the
evil.
truth. They don't want to hear the truth.
Evil.
You could go anything better said, you know?
Huh?
Like there's some things that are
Thank
better
you.
about
So
the,
she just
like,
she just
I
proved,
know my sister's
she
hot. You don't
proved
have
my
to tell me
point.
that.
She proved my point for me. You want to do the next one?
I mean, you could say I love you, but your brother's also a lot
Anybody-
hotter than
Yeah.
you.
Anybody got this?
Unnecessary to say.
Unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
So you,
yeah.
no point.
ET phone your friend. You know what I mean? Like,
Pick your battles.
Yeah.
You know?
Anybody at this table married?
I want to be. I can't wait
No?
to be. But no.
I guess I'm the only one.
I'm still young.
How long have you been married?
28 years.
Beautiful.
Really?
Wow.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
How did you know that?
Men aging like wine. Look at
I don't believe in the one. That's how I knew she wasn't the one, or she was the one.
We need to get her. Where's the mic?
No,
Where is she?
that's-
I need a mic.
Where's the mic?
Wow.
Where's the
Right
mic?
here.
No, I people ask me this before. They say, they'll say, how did you vet for your wife? And it's like, no guy vets. Okay, I hate this shit where it's like, oh, I have some like checklist, and she went and checked off all these things. It was just right there at the moment where I'm like thinking, I shouldn't say that. I vetted myself first is what I did, which was, can I be faithful to this person? Because I know me, I've seen me do it, right? And the answer was yes. After I got past that, then it was like, oh, she's good with her niece. She's good, which just comes like our family's really kind of cool, that kind of stuff. And it wasn't a decision that I'm just like, I think I'm going to marry this person. It was almost like an inevitable outcome. It was just like part of the process, I guess.
I really like that you said you vetted yourself first.
I
That's
had
an
to.
important first step.
Well, because I realized, and I mean, my parents have been split up since I was like 8 years old, right? And one of the things I kind of learned early on from that experience is that when you put two people together when they're getting married, you're not just putting two people together. You're putting a family together. You're putting great kids together. You're putting grandchildren together. You're putting fucking dogs together. Okay, you're putting
animals.
Like there's
Everything.
it's like it's a ripple effect. You throw a rock in the pond and everything ripples out from that pond. You're just that rock that's in the pond. Everything that ripples out is the grandkids, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, your friends, everything that it comes as a result of that one connection right there. There's so much more than just you and that person coming together, right? Now, once I get past the fact that do I enjoy having sex with her? Yes, I do. Can I be faithful to her? Yes, I do. Okay, let's proceed from here. That's all. That was really all it was.
All you guys who are watching this, understand what he said. You need to vet yourself. Can you be with this woman and cheat on her and not get caught? That's what's important. If you can pull that off, then you're good.
Michael.
Then you're good. You have to look.
Can you not?
You have to look deep into yourself. You have to look deep into yourself.
To ruin the moment.
Don't
You
ruin
just
the rest of the guys.
That's crazy.
This is why Michael's not married.
You get away.
I have a question.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I have so many questions.
I have a question. When guys like start talking or dating women, I know you already answered already, but I need it in depth sometimes. How do they know? Like, I feel like that wasn't answered. Do you know when you know, or does that take time?
I'll tell you what my dad said when I asked him. He said it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Okay, that is so not going to work for me. I
No,
need something
but-
different.
I mean,
Like that's so
but
like
see-
next
but
swipe
no, but
right
think-
left.
but
I
think
don't
about
know
that.
something.
Who, when they
Think
know
about
they
that
know,
in think
then
about
there's someone like, this will work.
Armani. Think about that in a more kind of like global sense, right? In the sense that like, I hate to make it like Zen or anything like that, but it's just like it just something. It feels like it's an inevitable outcome, right?
Inevitable outcome.
Yeah, it was just like I wasn't playing. I just come out of a really bad relationship,
Yeah.
and I was spinning plates. I was dating like probably 3 or 4 other girls at the same time. She happened to be one of them.
Wow.
And again, remember what I told you about how she was dating other guys as well. We were dating we were dating like fucking adults should fucking date.
That's
is what we
what
were
you're
dating
supposed to
like.
do.
Okay,
Exactly.
which is yeah. And so at one point, we started seeing each other a little bit more seriously. And at that point, she says, she wanted to be exclusive with me. I didn't ask her. She wanted to be exclusive with me.
Right.
And I'm like, she's the hottest girl I was with at the time. I'm like, yeah, and I enjoyed being with you. And remember what I told you about the car keys? Remember?
Yes.
That was something that impressed me at that time. Right, which was she wants me to be in the driver's seat
And let you take the lead.
should drive her fucking car.
Did you want to be with her because she was the hottest one?
That had a lot to do with I said the sex. The sex. Okay, so
she was one.
Okay, so
she was the hottest one.
So well,
So she was the hottest one
She was
there.
the funnest. She was the funnest one too. But the thing is you also have to remember that sex is the glue that holds a relationship together. Okay, so
You do
I don't
have to
have
have
any.
sexual
I don't have any.
So defensive on that shit.
I don't have any delusions. I don't have any delusions that if sex isn't there, you're just fucking roommates.
Have you ever been
And
engaged
room-
before?
No, I've never been.
There
engaged.
has to
Do you
be an
wanna get married?
attraction.
Yeah, do you want to get married?
I do want to get married.
Let's
yeah.
interrogate him.
Yeah. No, I don't mind.
Get him.
I don't mind.
Polygraph. Let's get that polygraph going.
I have to vet myself to see, is this woman, not curious enough to figure out what I'm doing.
Are you
And she sounds.
You rather just not be honest.
He is rage baiting.
It's a joke. I'm telling a joke.
I know.
And it seems that the audience appreciates my joke very much.
Lord. We crawl right in that head.
We need more Michael
No,
on
I think
promethazine.
I think really guys need to be realistic with themselves because I still have to debate these tradcon guys all the time about like, oh, sex is in everything in a relationship. No, it's the only fucking thing, because if you don't have that, if you don't have a good sexual connection with that person, that affects all those things I just talked to you about: grandkids, dogs, children, aunts, uncles, everything else. That's why I said I had to vet myself.
Y'all are still fucking right now. Y'all are still fucking like how you were.
No, because I'll
50 years ago?
I'll
I don't know
explain
when.
it. I'll explain to you why. Okay, because without
Not saying
that,
you're old, but it's just
with-
like it's
without
just not
that-
gonna be the same. Like I don't think sex is
with-
like it is
It can't
important,
be.
but it's like once you get to a certain age, it's like are you just gonna?
It's gotta be more.
Like you've done the same
People
thing.
are still older and having sex.
still-
You gotta
it's
figure
still
it
pretty
out.
good.
Much
No,
harder
I'm-
if you
I'm-
are
yeah.
to not be having sex.
No,
especially with the person you
But
love.
I'm just saying,
okay,
okay, have a
when you
different fucking feeling about them when
No.
I'm
You're
gonna have a
30
different
years
body
old.
too.
And I'm
No.
gonna
You're
gonna have a different body
But
too.
I'm gonna be like, hey, I still
No,
fuck it, but
I'm
like,
taking
you know.
350 megs of Anavar every week. You're good. We're having sex. We're having sex all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
You figure it out.
No, we figure
You
it out. but
figure
know
it
what I'm
out
saying?
regardless.
What I'm
Again,
saying,
like,
if they're
whatever
going
you're
to
gonna
and
do.
fro, I need something more in deep of a connection. It can't just be your sex because that's not
Right,
you
but
know,
the sex is.
I'm saying
I mean,
that
it will. The
that
sex
is
will like
that
drive
is the
everything else.
byproduct of having good sex. That's a byproduct of being with somebody that you're. We were just talking a minute ago. You want to find somebody that you're fucking sexually compatible with before
Yeah.
you can go on to something
I
that's
just feel
deep.
like I just
and-
feel like hearing you talk personally.
Mhm.
I personally just feel like that just seems to be like the number one driving force. I have yet to hear a secondary thing that seems to be as
Okay.
equal to that. I feel like
Right.
that's where my
Okay,
brain
so
goes
as
with
I
that.
said, once you get past the sex part, then is she insightful? That's number two.
Mindset.
Is she insightful? Because
Your mindset's half a click.
insightfulness is so rare in women these days.
Yeah.
That because everything's it's all about them. It's all about
Called us all
solipsism.
stupid.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying it's very.
He called
it's
us
very-
selfish.
It's very that's selfish. It's
How
solid.
about,
it's
how about
solipsistic.
this?
You
This is
think about yourself.
here's a cake, and this cake represents reason, logic, and accountability. Men just have the cake. Women have an icing that goes over the cake called emotions. So even though they know the truth, their truth is painted over by these emotions and make them say things that aren't true as if they are true. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. I love men
there's
with
no
cake.
there's no problem with you telling me how you feel about something I did, but there is a problem with you telling me how I feel.
Oh,
that's
true.
the issue, and
1000%.
that's what happens with these very strong emotions.
Yeah.
You really like that girl. I'm like, you just told me that I like. Do you have telekinesis?
No.
What the fuck are you doing? That's the issue I have. So it's not the idea that that women aren't smart. If you check IQs, men and women have about the same IQ. The difference is women have this emotionality that's painted over their logic, reason, and accountability, which causes them sometimes, and by the way, some men are like this too, which causes them sometimes to like see it's the truth plus my feelings. And your feelings don't fucking matter when it comes to objective reality. So that's
Armani,
Okay, but does anybody else actually
like?
like being told that they're wrong? Because I actually kind of like being told.
I
that I'm
like it because if I want to be
obviously,
a
always
and
that
now-
goes without saying, respectfully. But like if I feel a certain way and I'm like, I know that this is just feelings, but I'm still feeling it. So I want to put it on the table and have you tell me why I'm wrong.
Yes.
And then we can move on.
As long as that
Self-awareness.
definition's
Because you have a
logical.
self-awareness.
Correct me so that we can like. What?
Someone said, "Is the cake made with vaginal yeast?"
Oh God.
Damn.
Yes. yes. Muff muffins.
What were you
I,
saying?
like,
though?
I
I think
appreciate
it's
being
beautiful
told
self-awareness
that I'm wrong because, like, I'm not saying that this is the truth. I'm just saying this is what's in my head.
That's how I feel right now.
Sometimes-
This is what's in my head.
Sometimes
Let's
we just
talk
need
about why I'm
reassurance.
wrong, but like, I need
Yeah.
you to. We got to talk about why I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So can that be done in a way that's respectful, or
Yes.
like
Yeah.
does it
Yes.
have to be?
In a
It
very
has to be
adult-like,
done in a
yes.
way that's
Respectful.
respectful.
So it can't be like he's yelling at
No.
you and
That's
criticizing you.
not even just like you're telling me I'm wrong. That's just disrespectful.
That's just
like,
disrespectful.
You're
there
like
should be no
trying
yelling.
to parent
There
me
should be no
almost.
name
Like,
calling.
no.
There should
Like,
be
I
nothing.
feel like this, and this
that's
is why
like-
I feel this way, and then
There should be no
this is what-
escalation of the situation.
Yeah.
We're just talking about why I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be phrased that way, but I don't mind being wrong. There's nothing, I've never been like, I have to be right about this.
Slam that. He disagrees.
Is he alive?
What were you saying, Rolo, before?
What I was going to say is, just to finish your question there is, so sex, insight, and then respect.
Yeah.
And in that order. So as far as like you want the foundations of a good marriage, it's those three things and in that order.
Okay.
So
What is it? Sex, insight, and what?
Sex, insight, and respect.
Sex, insight, and
well, and
respect.
it goes both ways. By the way, women don't want to be with a guy they can't respect, right? So, so I
You
understand
have to respect who you're with.
Well,
if
and
you
then
don't,
what happens, I think a lot of guys is they get lost in those first two, and then they don't realize they're being disrespected because they're trying to keep up with the first two.
Oh no, I'll tell you why they don't. I'll tell you why they don't realize they're being disrespected. A lot of men, this is the reason why, is because the sex is good. Because they're having fun, they're having a fun sexual experience, and because of that, it doesn't matter. Like what they're willing to tolerate other things. So, like for instance, if you have a woman who doesn't respect you, but she wants sex all the time, she tells you she's obsessed with you, but she lets her emotions get carried away. From your standpoint as a man, it's like, oh well, she's obsessed with me. She wants to have sex all the time. Everything's good, but you don't realize that her emotions are coming before the sanctity of your relationship, and so therefore she is not showing the respect. Not to you, but to the relationship in general, to not like lose your shit, embarrass you in front of your friends, or do anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of the difference. Is like men, because they're getting sexual intercourse, they overlook the fact that they're being disrespected.
I think that goes for everybody though, and I think that's a very important reason for women to at least try abstinence, because you can see it from an objective perspective when you take a step back from that emotional connection.
We should practice. We should practice abstinence.
Is that the solution?
How do you?
Is that the solution?
At least for the rest of the night.
How do you? How do you practice abstinence? Anybody? How do you practice it?
Do nothing.
Can you come on? Ready?
You're never gonna get it right.
Ready? Here.
Completely.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna practice abstinence. Ready?
Vibrator.
Okay, good. I just did it. I didn't fuck anyone. Did you guys see that? I just practiced abstinence. Anyone see that? Was that pretty amazing?
Damn, you're a pro.
That's incredible. I'm gonna do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You see that? I just practiced abstinence. Wasn't that incredible?
Very difficult.
You get an award.
some people stay abstinent for like months though, and it does.
Months. You're telling me women go months without fucking? That's strange, dude. That's crazy.
Yes, I have.
I recently did.
Yeah,
it was hard.
honestly, years.
It was
hard
Yes.
until month 2 started
and I've
to get
learned
easier.
so much.
Because again, bad sex is not better than no sex.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to just lock in and like, I feel like women are in their like divine, not only when they're being led by the right man, but when they're really focused on themselves and getting themselves better. So potentially when they are ready for a relationship and to see someone again, they're a totally different version of themselves versus when they left the last relationship.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
It's because you're all
no
fucking
sex for
robots.
months.
That's why.
We're not fucking robots.
No. You guys aren't gonna be fucking robots. You're gonna be fucking women. Men are gonna be fucking robots.
No, okay.
Men are gonna be fucking
That
robots.
sounds fine.
Yeah, we're okay with that. Honestly, I might not be mad about it. Enjoy yourself.
Wait a minute.
Cheers.
Weren't you guys talking to me about like the vibrators about half an hour ago?
Yeah.
Does that count as abstinence? Does that count as abstinence?
Exactly.
Yes.
Do you think men will get bored when they're too compliant?
When
What?
When the robots are too compliant?
No.
I ain't fucking a
No.
robot.
No.
I'm telling you what'll happen. There'll be some 16-year-old. Like, well, I think it's weird. I don't want to fuck a robot. And I'm probably teach my kids that's weird. But like my great grandkids are gonna grow up and they're gonna go up and talk. They're gonna have a robot that they get when they're like 15. They're gonna go fuck their friend's robot. You know what I'm saying? You remember when we were growing up there? Somebody had like a bunch of porn magazines hidden off in the woods.
Yeah.
It's like what you look at your
It's
friend's
like fucking pirate's gold.
You
man.
look at your friend's porn stash. It's gonna be the same thing. You can go over to your rich friend's house and fuck his robot. His robot changes. The robot changes appearance, breast size, whatever. Anytime you want, go in there. No, it's not me. Read Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil wrote a book on this called "The Singularity Is Near." It talks about men having sex with robots.
Wow.
And then
Haven't you seen Westworld? Come on.
Yeah. Like Westworld's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And then what'll happen is that they'll grow up and they'll get used to like having sex with a robot. Then they'll go out and they'll talk to a real woman. They'll go to a bar. They'll meet like a beautiful woman. They'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then the girl's like, "Ooh, you're just like you're too short. You're not cool. I don't want to talk to you." And he's like, "I'll just go fuck my robot. Why would I ever deal with women again?" And then they're just going to go back to do that. Well, once that happens, it's going to become an epidemic. And then next thing you know, like the population is going to drop.
I don't think we should do that though.
Again, of course, men shouldn't do that. Again, this is an evolutionary psychology podcast.
But do you think that the good-looking men that can get pussy out there like will do that? Or is it just going to be like
This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen.
Do it.
Yeah, like my grandson, exactly right. That's what's going to happen. He's going to be the one dude with like 47 women chasing him.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be the only real penis in town. because all the other dudes are fucking robots. Yes, what you're saying is true. Correct.
Why aren't women fucking robots? Where are the male robots?
Because my vibrator does a ton of fucking fine. If I have a fucking dick,
Yeah, but if
system,
men
I still
can
gotta
get
hide it.
if men
It's not
can get
fucking me.
female robots, then women can get male robots.
No.
I don't want to know how they clean that thing.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want a robot. I'm okay.
I don't, honestly.
I like the energetic connection. I don't like robots.
Yeah, you guys weren't
The
aware
girl's
of
not
this.
going to be like, you're too short. She's going to be like, you seem like you fuck robots.
Yeah, no, seriously. That's going to be the new insult. You're giving robots.
Men on dating
More
profiles are
incels.
going to be like, I don't fuck robots.
I swear I don't.
I swear.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be.
They'll drop incel and they'll say robot fucker.
You robot
Like,
fucker.
it's guys, it's so. When you look at how much money men spend on pornography, you
It's
think
crazy.
that it's not inevitable that men will all be sleeping with robots.
So
You're
they're
just
not
a
going to pay
fool.
for sex, but they'll pay for a robot.
That's
I think
correct.
some men will
That's
sleep
correct.
with anything.
What about if I had my own robot and I sent my robot out there?
Maybe you could do like a highly robot.
You're gonna pimp out your robot.
Send your robot out to test them.
Virgin.
She's gonna pimp
Hold
out
on,
her
hold on.
robot.
She has a picture she wants to show you guys.
All right.
During the
Hold on, time out. Time out. Time out.
Time
I'll
out.
find it. So, okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I do with it?
Just show Michael. Show him exactly what it is.
So that's a man.
Yeah.
Can't really tell.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
A man dining with a sex doll.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
In public?
That was during AVN.
In public? During AVN?
That's awesome. I would do that. That'd be funny as hell.
Wow.
Oh, it's real looking.
He was supposedly doing it.
No, they won't be able to see.
You won't be able to see it.
Wow.
He was supposedly doing it because he owns a sex doll business, and that's how he markets.
I love it.
And he ordered her.
Put the mic.
Sorry, the server that served him was like, "Do I pour her water? Like, do I?" He ordered her.
Do I
drinks, he
pretend that
ordered
she's
her
alive?
food, and he had her cheersing with him.
He's a gentleman.
No
And
way.
He was a gentleman for his sex
His
doll.
robot.
But
Yeah,
apparently,
yeah,
supposedly, that's how he markets.
I love
I don't know if
where
that's actually true.
Armani's like, I don't think men should do that. If you guys haven't figured it out, the whole world's going into shit. That's what this podcast is about. We're just describing the fucking meteor coming in.
it's
That's
We're
all
so
it is.
cooked,
You think we have a
guys.
solution for this?
Honestly.
We ain't got no solution for this.
Damn.
What you do is during your 80, 90 years on this earth, you have the most fun and have the best experiences you can. Try to help as many people as you can. And just don't think about the fact that your great grandson is going to fuck a robot 100%.
Or don't have a great grandson. Don't have any sons.
Oh, man.
Don't have any of them.
Yeah, well, that's taking care of itself right now, actually.
There's a new show about it right now where Megan Fox is a robot. She's a,
I seen.
she's a robot maid, yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't want to fuck that robot.
But she was
He
coming on to
did, though.
him.
Yeah,
The
but she
robot
wants
was
it.
coming on to
The
him.
robot was coming on to him.
was trying to
She was programmed by a man.
Taking over.
She was promiscuous.
Spoiler alert.
Mind blown. The robot was a slut.
But he likes her anyway.
Slutty
I don't
robot.
think,
but
I don't
like,
think
come on,
that's
Megan
I don't
Fox
think
is
that's
a
a very
robot.
challenging role for
Shit.
Megan Fox.
I couldn't even resist.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah. She's she's a little out.
Why are you talking bad about Megan Fox?
He had to put a blindfold
perfect
on
role
to do
for
it.
her.
I love
What is
Megan
he doing? What is he doing?
That's crazy.
Okay.
All right, I got
next?
another one for you.
Let's do
Oh,
it.
God, should I set this one up? No, I'll just let it go.
Okay.
People talk about men aging like wine. Look at like it's not true. I'm sorry. A great example of this is Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, yes, Leonardo DiCaprio at his current age is handsomer than me. But when he was my age, he was way handsomer than he is now. Right. So this whole like delusion that men keep feeding themselves. Men age like wine. I've looked at the research here. Who's most physically attractive to a 25-year-old woman? It's like a 26-year-old man. Women are most physically attracted to men who are slightly older than themselves. And that only extends until like 40-ish. And then the trend actually starts to reverse. That's when women start thinking that younger men are actually sexier. And that gap becomes wider as they get older.
Until they open their mouths.
Would you like me to tell you why he's dead wrong?
I mean, you can't. Like, I'll tell you right now. I think the reason why that data comes up the way it is because of obesity. I think I think it's truly because of obesity. Like, again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like, I'm 47, and every girl who wants to go out with me is like under 25. I think what he's saying, it doesn't count for me. It's not because I'm like special. It's because I have figured out a way to not get fucking super fat. I don't have a bunch of bad habits. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. I take care of fucking animals, and I can speak like a normal human being. And a lot of guys today are just fat, and as they get older, they get fatter. And I do agree with him. Like, that's the reason. Like, I go home for my high school reunion, and everybody there is overweight. Like 100% of my classmates.
You enjoyed the fuck
100%
out of
of my
it.
classmates.
You enjoyed the fuck out of that reunion.
I would enjoy mine too, though.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that's the
Right
point.
there.
It's like I'm not saying, I'm sure the statistics bear out what he's saying. I'm not saying I'm a supermodel, but I am more attractive now at 47 than I was at 27, period. There's no debating it whatsoever. I can tell because of the way the world reacts to me. Sexual market value. It is a sexual marketplace. The marketplace gives you feedback. The S&P 500 goes up when more people want to buy it. It goes down when more people want to sell it. And the amount of women that want to go out with me has increased in my 40s than compared to my 20s. Regardless of what Mackin says, maybe I'm the anomaly, but I've also chosen to stay in good shape, to read 60 books a year. Things are more
back to making more fuckable.
Yes, I go
all
out.
those things that you do that make you more
just, like, more
fuckable.
successful now too.
Yeah, of course.
Right, make you more
Of course.
fuckable.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's not just
Thank
like,
you.
But
I mean,
it's like a very common experience. Like the average person, like at that high school reunion, is
Yeah.
like, like once you hit 30, like your bones are creaking, like it's all downhill
That-
from
that's
here.
all mental.
After
That's
Going
a
47,
we're
I play
also in,
basketball
like, a
like
fishbowl
4
in
days a
Vegas.
week.
Like we're like the people in
I
Vegas.
play basketball 4 days a week, and I'm 47 years old, bro.
It's a mindset.
That's
It's
just
a
your-
mindset.
that's
That's
just
what
your
I'm
brain.
saying. Is
It's
that people,
excuses.
especially like when it comes to health and fitness, like
Yeah.
people believe that it's all downhill after you're like late 20s, whatever
That's
it is.
crazy to me.
And I've never been this healthy, this strong, this fit. Like I'm 32, and it's only gone up, but it really depends on what you prioritize.
Yeah, and even the older you get, you realize like patterns of your own life. So
If
then
you're
you start
healthy,
to be able
if you're
to like
healthy enough
change
to
those things and make
self-reflect,
yourself
but like
right.
if you're
I
healthy enough
honestly
to have
feel like,
insight,
yeah,
like,
some people will say certain girls look crazy after a certain age. I'm going to be hot in my 30s because that's just my mindset, and I know I'm going to take care of myself.
I think a lot of it is
And you have good
consistency
genetics.
too.
Yes, I have great genetics. Yeah. I
Like
do.
if you consistently take
Even
care
if
of
you don't
yourself,
have
it
good
becomes
genes, if you have
easier
money.
as you get
take
older.
care of yourself. Yeah.
You have money, you take that trip to Istanbul, you come back with a new
go to
nose.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Good as a motherfucker.
Yeah, you don't need
I don't
good
like
Have you
genes, but
seen
do have
those?
good genes.
Have you seen those transformations? Those people who go to Turkey.
They look
There's a job there though. I thought they do
So
a job there.
crazy. They take these fugly looking people with these weird noses
Beautiful.
and they make them look beautiful.
Beautiful. I know,
And
I
I'm not
wanna
no
go.
homo, like men. These guys who look so handsome. These
Imagine
people at
last time I
Turkey.
heard someone
Imagine
say
getting
that.
a MRSA infection there though, and having to go to the ER.
But I think that if you're in the States,
yeah, that's
like,
crazy. But I
MRSA
just need
infections and
surgery.
yeast
What do you have?
infections. That's what's defining this
Oh
show.
my god, the kids
Anyway,
today.
the point is when I meet guys who are in their 40s and they're in shape, I have not seen them have trouble dating women in their 20s.
Usually the finest men.
Ever.
In their
But again, I'm not saying what, because it gets anecdotal and it's a small percentage of the
Mm-hmm.
population. So for me, being unmarried with no kids and not being fat and successful, I'm already in the minority. And so I'm not going to fit what his statistics are. But I will tell you, I would love to date a woman who's in her late 20s. I can't find one that wants to date me. It's always these girls under 25. They all have no problem going out with me whatsoever. I did not choose, my ex-girlfriend was 24 years younger than me. It was not my choice. When I met her, she was the one who liked me the most. And so that's why I went out with her. And so I'm not saying that what he's saying is wrong. The statistics are not wrong. my point is, if you are and I'm not telling you as men to date women 25 years younger than you. What I am telling you though is if you stay in shape and you are successful and you're active and you keep the neuroplasticity. I try to read between 30 and 60 books a year. If you can keep the neuroplasticity, then when you meet a woman who's in her 20s, you're just a more badass version of the 25-year-old that she saw before.
Yeah.
Because now I'm fucking dangerous.
Can I ask you a
now
question?
I have
Now I'm
success
fucking
and I
dangerous.
have wisdom that I didn't have when I was 25.
Yeah.
Now I have the success and wisdom I didn't have. So now I'm dangerous at 47. And so that's where I think the difference is. Also, I think these stats are going to change significantly when more men get on tier 2.
Yeah, that and they're also very old stats. Those are from OkCupid from about 2013. I know because I used them in an essay back in 2013. What he's also not showing you is the statistics for what guys find most attractive. Throughout their entire lives, from 15 all the way till they're 90. They find women between the ages of 21 and 24 the most attractive, being about 22, 23 is the most attractive across the board. Because men and women, I don't know if he knows this, men and women actually find different things attractive in the opposite sex, okay? So if guys are primarily focused on the physical, they're looking for beauty, they're looking for fertility, they're looking for sexual availability, but primarily they're looking for a woman who's hot. And a woman who's hot is usually about 23 fucking years old. The reason why women's age attraction staggers up is because it takes longer for men to mature into their peak potential.
So is that a
when it
reflection
comes
on
to
the
that.
women? So if you only have 20 to 24 year olds going after you, and the 25 to something else, are the more mature, beautiful women seeing something fractured about you or something faulty about you that they don't want to necessarily dive in?
Are you asking about me specifically?
No.
I'm not saying in general, but since you mentioned it, if you have a, you know,
yeah, I don't.
Because
I'll tell you what.
Women have different criteria for what's attractive.
I don't hit on women. That's the difference. Right. You have to absolutely hit me over the head and let me know you're attracted to me, or I'm not doing shit.
Your ex came on to you.
Yes. Yeah. Like you have to. Well, I hung out with her, and she very much let me know she was attracted to me. And when we did that, then it was fine. But I just don't hit on girls, and that's the difference.
So you think then that's where the difference lies?
I think a lot of women in their 30s are not going to go that far to like let me. They're going to make me go on like 5 or 6 dates, and I'm just like I'm deliberately clueless when it comes to that. You have to absolutely.
But see, looking at you, I would not assume that because you have this like this little ego mentality that you kind of have, So I wouldn't assume that unless you told me. So then. I'm a lot older than I look. I tell everyone I'm 25 plus shipping and handling, but I turned 30 last year. So I see that
Yeah, exactly. I look like a red flag.
But if I told you, if I spoke to you,
I look like a red flag. Just say it out loud.
For sure. But if I spoke to you, then I'm like, okay. Well, wait a minute. Maybe you can buy me one other drink. I'm kind of parched, But I'd have to talk.
You're saying I look like a minefield in Afghanistan in 1983.
Yeah, like
I'm a red flag. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, got it. I understand.
Well, I mean, you also got to look at the numbers here too, because if you look at the latest,
but don't judge a book by its cover.
If you look at the polls right now, guys between the ages of 18 and 29, men report being single at 67%.
Yeah. So
for women, it's 34%.
Under the age of 30. Mm-hmm. 2/3 of men are single, 1/3 of women.
Yeah,
meaning how is that possible? Unless women are dating older men.
Yeah, they're all fucking the same guy, or they're fucking some guy who's out of the age cohort.
Also, the other issue is people reporting things, and like men tend to be a little bit closer in what they say. It's what they say they want and what they actually want. Say, I want a girl who's 21 to 25, whatever, has green eyes, black hair. If they can date a girl who looks like that, that's who they go after. Women will say they want, I want a super nice guy who does all this kind of stuff, and then they end up, dating whoever they date, which might not line up with exactly what they say they want. Do you have another one?
Yeah, just to finish off here is like that's why I've always pegged guys at between the ages of say like 34 and 38, like about 36 years old, is when they hit their peak potential for attraction because they have more of what makes them maximally attractive. So if you've got a guy who's still in good shape at 35 years old, he's now made partner in the law firm, he's a better judge of character, he has better sexual selectivity, and he can go after women who are younger than him. Why wouldn't he do that?
Hold a conversation.
Hold a conversation. He's more mature. I think on some level of consciousness, women understand that it takes longer for men to mature into their peak potential than it does for women because they're simply hotter and younger at 23 because that's what men are looking for. And when women are looking for a guy that they want to either have sex with or they want to have a relationship with, that guy has to have a laundry list of prerequisites that the woman doesn't have to have. And that's where he loses the frickin' narrative in all of this.
Awesome.
So, another one? Yeah.
Ready? Here we go. Let's get toxic together. Come on.
Hey,
Which
let's
one
share it
do
on
we
toxic.
want?
Just whatever the next one is. And we'll just get to if the ones we miss, we'll use them next week.
Oh, geez. Okay, let's do this one.
Literally broke up with my boyfriend. Had no problems with him at all. Like, he was great. I just broke up with him because I was like, I just need more time with myself. I just need to discover who I am. I want to be alone. I want to just focus on myself. And like, as hard as it was to lose him and like lose each other, I just like, I feel like it's all God's plan. It works out in the end.
What happened?
Yeah, look where we are now.
Why do they put that music?
I know, right?
I know. I hate that shit too.
10 times more dramatic.
It's pretty viral music, but yeah, I understand.
I mean, I understand. They put that music
what do you think?
for. I mean, I think she was, just being honest with herself. Like, hey, she's, I know she went pretty viral and she was doing the Ring Girl stuff.
Why she's viral? She was viral because that was one of the ring girls for Tyson. Paul.
Yeah.
And so she sat in the back. She went mega viral, and then all of a sudden she broke up with her boyfriend. No, what happened was she just got a bunch more attention from a lot of famous people, and so her boyfriend is kind of holding her back, and that's what happened. Her boyfriend, her current boyfriend, in comparison to the other men that were now available to her, probably made him seem like a poor choice. She didn't explain it like that because that would make her seem heartless. Instead, what she said is, I needed to explore myself and go on a personal journey of exploration.
Self-discovery.
And you think that's bullshit? You think she's lying? You think women can't want to experience that?
Maybe so, but she probably fucked Jake Paul, and that's why, or whoever,
really?
or whoever.
You don't want to throw that.
Huh?
I feel like this is speculation.
Maybe not Jake Paul, but she.
You don't think that some women maybe just truly want to just find themselves?
No. I think some women truly want to find herself.
Yeah.
This woman wanted to find herself because she just got famous. That's what happened. She started getting when she was all there, like all of a sudden.
So she was with him when she was the ring girl for Jake Paul, and then she broke up with him after. Was that before? Did she break up with him before?
Well,
because I mean that could be a contributing factor why she blew up so much. Like, hey, I don't have a boyfriend anymore.
I'll tell you right now.
Myself, pursuing things that I'm interested in.
If you're just a ring girl, you're going to get a lot of attention from famous people. So let's just say she just was a ring girl for Top Rank, and so she only had 100,000 followers, whatever. That's still enough.
Leonardo DiCaprio hits me up. Goodbye. You know, like I'm sorry, if she was like okay, he just said celebrity. Let's just say she popped off, right? Everyone watched that shit, and come on, if she got certain people that are like,
no, I could see that, but I'm just saying,
and he's not even
But I'm just saying, like, if she broke up with him before that happened, then that's a different story. Like, like what you're saying. I've had moments where it's like I wanted to kind of explore myself and understand my needs and wants, and I think life is completely different when you're revolving around someone else.
But she said in the very beginning, I broke up with him for no reason. He did nothing wrong.
And that's okay. I mean, she wanted to like.
I agree with you.
Didn't she say she wanted more time to?
I agree with you that it's okay.
I have a question.
I'm still describing
what was the point at the end of the video? She showed her finger. Did they get back together?
No. That was so you didn't see. They took it out of context. That is a string that she had pulled around here. She was a viral video where it looks like she has a wedding ring, and then she turns around and here it's her lanyard that shows that. Yeah, so she didn't have a ring on. They should have showed it. They took it out of context or whatever. No, it's fine. Like, I will tell you guys, this has also happened. If you're dating a woman, she becomes a famous model, gets a bunch of social media followers, or starts making significantly more money than you on OnlyFriends, then that can also be a precipitator of the relationship ending very quickly. And I'm not even saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying she's not being honest why this really happened.
She's just trying to have fun with all the other ones.
Because every dude she could ever dream of, probably she could reach out to right now, and she didn't have the ability to do it before. She did.
What would be your argument for her doing this before?
Some girls do.
What would be your argument for her like doing this before, like before she got famous? Like, why would she have broken up with him then?
She probably wouldn't have broken up with him. She probably wouldn't have broken up with him.
Do you think there might have been an energy shift in their relationship?
There was an energy shift. She's famous now.
I understand that, but
and she's
like Drake is in her shit.
With
John, like Johnny Depp's in her.
Yeah, but like anyone on IG is probably messaging her. I guarantee you, if we did
Thanos, Thor, bro.
The
crystals that you had in your hand earlier, I in her DMs.
Chris Hemsworth, like I guarantee you, Michael B. Jordan, they're all in her shit.
He was like known for being faithful to his girl.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh,
she's
that is. No.
We're just saying names. It doesn't matter. High status, good looking, wealthy men are throwing it at her like crazy. And
do you think she should have been on? Do you think it would have been helpful for the male population for her to be honest about what she's doing, or do you think that she did well by sugarcoating it for you men?
No, I think it's helpful for the male population to listen to me describe to what she's saying, because I don't even think she's open and honest about what she's doing. And if you were to ask me on betting, I would say she probably slept with some celebrity or famous person.
But that's how she discovers herself.
Before that's how she discovered herself.
She's discovering herself through sleeping with
she goes to the Tyson Paul fight, and then afterwards ends up hooking up with Diplo or whoever, and then afterwards, then she decides to break up with her man because he did nothing wrong. Again, I'm assuming. I understand.
We're assuming on.
I would say better than 50%.
We're assuming on some decent bias here that it seems plausible.
Well, let's just say I don't think she's going off to some like spa up in Oregon or something like that to discover herself. She's probably wanting to go and date other guys and bang other guys. Can we just say what that's about?
When she's dating a celebrity, like we could probably look it up now. When she's dating a celebrity in the next couple of weeks, would you guys believe me then?
I'm circling back right to this table.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
I tell you, when she's dating a center fielder for the freaking Dodgers, at that point, you guys will look back and be like, okay, I understand what Mike was saying. Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden what was available to her. Just like guys,
her journey's over.
Just like again, let's just say Anissa was a high ticket salesperson for me, and then all of a sudden she's making $240,000 a year, and somebody offers her $1 million a year. She wasn't aware that she was available to get $1 million a year. All of a sudden she's going to be like, well, Michael didn't do anything wrong, but I just wanted to explore other options. No, you wanted more money. It doesn't make any difference. It's not a big deal. It's like when these guys are like,
don't men do that?
Huh?
Men do that a lot too.
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying for a second that they don't. I'm not.
The difference is we don't go, I'd like to go get a hot rock spa massage in Oregon and find myself and go monk mode and
Then again,
go
the
in a
public
sweat lodge or
criticizes
something
different.
like that to discover myself. We go, no, I'm doing this for these reasons.
But you got to think how the public criticizes women versus men too. So sometimes, we have to soften the cushion because people are a lot more harsher to women than they are men in the public eye. We see it all the time. When a man, is unfaithful to his wife in the public, they're just like, damn. Or like, they'll be like, who's the girl? Who's the girl? But when a woman is, she's bashed. Like, she can't even show her face for the first 2 months.
That's why every guy that
It's
talks
insane.
shit should put their dick on the table before they like say something. I'm like, if you can see everything about me,
Well,
like
I
you can
think
see
we
all
might
my
get
shit.
demonetized, but I don't know.
You're already there, so let's send it.
Could you imagine? I hired a woman from YouTube. She worked with me for 6 months for me to get my monetization back. And can you imagine if I go to her like, well, that's
this is okay?
You'll never believe what happened. I stood up.
You'll never believe.
Could you imagine how mad she would be?
Oh, Jesus. All right. We would be remiss if we didn't throw in Chris G.Q.
Oh,
Perry.
God, here we go.
I got a question for you, baby. Is it personal? Maybe. But does that man really love you, or is your relationship more like slavery? I mean, you clean up after him, you do what's told, still he calls you lazy. And when you confront him about any issues, he calls you crazy. The moment you speak your mind or tell him how you really feel, he never has the time to talk, so the truth is you never really heal. He tells you stop being dramatic, you're way too much. And when you ask to see his phone, he says you play too much. God forbid you catch him in a lie and get him aggravated. Those I love yous and I need yous turn to we should just be separated. But if you really try to leave, he'll put an end to those dry eyes. He'll tell you that you're worthless and you never deserve a good guy. The reason for that is simple. I wish that you understood why. If you don't see your value, the more likely you are to comply. When you leave the house, you need his approval before anything. And you better be home when you say, cause 5 minutes can change everything. All them girls in your DM that been telling you that he's cheating, with those attached screenshots just to prove that he's been creeping. But when you ask him about it, he just threatens you with leaving. I pray for those women with scarred souls from abuse. I promise you he'll never change, there's really no excuse. I mean, the real question is, do you love yourself enough to let go before it's too late?
It's almost over.
Understand that a narcissist can never be a soulmate.
Bro, have you all never really been with a narcissist?
Good
They
enough.
know exactly what the fuck they are. Damn, he can rap about exactly what the fuck they are. Damn, they're trash people. I don't
want to lose my voice again talking about Christian.
Was he lip syncing to a voiceover?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well, Anissa, what do you
Why is
think?
he
You wanted to ask him out? What did you say?
It was just way too long.
It's just too much?
Like,
Yeah.
next. My man would have sent me that, like, sorry.
Oh
Not
my
listening to all that.
Just curious, what do you think his deep down motivation was for doing that? Anybody?
40-year-old Facebook moms who are just like feeling that shit.
Yeah?
Like,
Is that what you think?
Nah.
Yes, king. What a king. We love.
Anybody
but
else?
Like, it's corny.
Confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias?
That's what
Anybody
he's
else?
looking for.
What do you think? Why do you think he did that?
I think he's pandering to get views, get money, and he's really trying real hard to impress them.
Why?
Do you think he really
Why?
believes it?
Is it because the way he talks is this the context in which he spoke of? Like what is it? What is it that's giving this like what? Like,
We show a video of him every week, and every week it's always men's fault. It's never
Michael has a
women's
crush
fault,
on him.
and it's always
Michael.
about like for instance.
He shows them all the time.
I've been in a relationship. I've been in a relationship before where I wasn't being treated well, and then I was like, hey, I think it's better if we get separated, like he said. And he goes, and then as soon as you leave, then it all changes. I was like, no, I asked her to leave, and then she left. Like that's the way
You're
it works.
not a narcissist.
Correct, but I'm telling you, most men are not the men he's describing. What's happened is there's a group of women. So,
have I just been fucked?
here's the
I mean,
problem.
I do think there's some women
He's pandering
who
to
like,
certain
have probably
women.
been in those situations.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the issue. What he's doing is he's speaking to men. He's speaking to
Tim, I'm
men.
gonna go home and cry, bro.
He's speaking to men for women, but no men are listening. He's just pandering.
He's pandering to
those
women.
women. Now, what's happened is, and I'll tell you why. At some point, he got friend zoned by some girl he liked, and then he went off and tried to fix it. And he probably posted something about the girl who friend zoned him. She probably got fucked over by some guy that she was dating, and so he made a poem or a rhyme talking about you're just a narcissist and you're not good enough for her. So this was kind of. This was kind of a white knight move by him, and then when he did it, then he looked at the views and the likes, and they just came crawling in. And because big tech because big tech really loves it when these blue pill simps fucking pander to women, they started throwing engagement at him. So he's like, oh my god,
disgusting though that someone's going to talk about something that actually can hit to females and like make views out of it.
He's got videos, guys, hold on. He's got videos like that. He's got videos like that with 1 million likes, not 1 million views, 1 million likes, where he says pandering nonsense like this.
That's disgusting.
And so, I'll say it before and I say it again. There is no greater gaslighter of women on planet Earth than Chris G.Q. Perry. He is the biggest one because what he's doing is he's telling you that these irrational feelings that you have towards every man you meet are actually validated. He's validating your wrongness. And by doing so, he's just hurting women. That's the problem. There's no man who watches this shit and like, oh my God, he's right. I should stop being a narcissist. Just really thank you, Chris G. Perry. You saved me. Not one motherfucker. Not one motherfucker. Watch this video about that. Not one. He affected no man with that.
It was bad. It was bad.
There's probably one guy out there like.
No, because he does pander to women. Like, and what I was saying, there's a girl out there who's sending that to her man, saying, "Look, this is how I feel about you," and he's just like,
she's not. He's a true narcissist. She's not saying that. She's too scared to send that to him.
Yeah, he's a narcissist.
That's what I'm saying. So my whole point is, and I have a whole different scope on this, and I'm sorry it's a little more serious on it, but because there's a population of people out there and women that are going to be part of it. To exploit something in context like that is true to so many women is fucking bullshit, because here's the thing, is that now we all fucking talk about it. Now we all fucking say, wow, this motherfucker's doing this for clout, this, that, and the other, while there's women are in households fucking actually going through that. And like, it actually really upsets me. I'll joke all day fucking long, but that disgusts me that he fucking does that for views. If you want to talk about something in the fuel of knowledge and psychology, that is one thing, but that's fucking bullshit. And at the same time,
how about this?
That's some real fucking shit that happens to fucking women out there.
How about this? Have a fair and balanced viewpoint to where if you're in a relationship with someone who's a narcissist, whose responsibility is it to get out of the relationship? Yours. So that means hold on. So that would be the first time in the history of his channel that a woman had to take responsibility for her actions. He has never done that. On his channel, women are always the victim, men are always the antagonist. And so in reality, if we were to have a conversation, it's like, hey, you want to know something? Sometimes men cheat. It's not because they're narcissists. They just had a moment of weakness. And sometimes women cheat, and it's not because they're narcissists. They just had a moment of weakness. You know, fuck it. Just charge it to the game. That actually is a little bit more fair and balanced.
It's more
hey,
fair
you
and
want to know
balanced.
something? Sometimes women cheat because they're not happy in a relationship. Sometimes men cheat because they just want some vagina. That's what happens. You see how I just kind of put it off on both people? I was kind of fair and balanced. And I'm not blaming anyone. So that is much closer to the truth.
Can you make it rhyme? Can you make it rhyme?
It's offensive to women who are actually victims.
There's an element of realism that is there. We as a society, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. Fuck that bitch. You guys don't know what narcissist is. Here's the thing. But the women that do go through that, because there's so many. It's just like, I don't know. As a society, that's got to change. And I know for me, like, I really want to press that.
Narcissists.
Yes, and they have children with them. It's not easy to fucking leave them.
But I'm just gonna say the whole like Elon Musk salute, whatever, like people saying, it's because he's autistic. That's super insulting to autistic people. That's fucking crazy. Like, and say like this shit, preying on women that are actually victims, that's insane. Like, that's...
Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. As soon as a man identifies as a male feminist, the clock is ticking for his sexual assault charges. They're coming down the road.
I'm so dead. That's hilarious.
As soon as a man tells you he's an ally, he's a feminist ally, the sexual harassment charges are on the way.
On the clock.
But it's like you have to look at the people that are the closest to vulnerable populations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like teachers, like a lot of times when they do horrific shit, like they have easy access to children. So it's like the people that are closest to the vulnerable people, like you can't just trust them. No. You can't just,
But there's prey and predator.
But this guy, he knows what he's doing. Right? He's very close to a vulnerable population.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
He's preying on the prey. He's preying on the prey.
He's the predator.
Yeah, he's not even being a predator. He's a pussy, but he's just preying on the prey. He's just talking shit.
Do you think he's intentionally doing it?
No. He's been. I'm not even blaming him. He's been.
Too much attention.
It's called classical conditioning.
Yeah.
If you keep ringing a bell and then feeding your dog, every time you ring the bell, the dog is going to start salivating, thinking that here comes the food. Every time he posts pandering content, the algorithm will. It's Pavlovian response.
All right, then let's all band together and not reward this fool because he is not like.
Guys, one more time. We did this before.
Sorry.
Go look at that. Go look at his most recent clip, and then look how many of your friends liked it.
Follow him.
I guarantee
Really?
you'll have 50 plus
We
female
established
friends.
this last time. I have 29
She had
friends
29
that
friends
follow
that
him.
No.
What's his page?
I'm upset, guys.
And I'm a girl that races motorcycles. I have 29 friends.
Armani, it's Chris GQ Perry.
Chris what?
Chris GQ Perry.
But that's
It's
just
10
like
people I know. It's not people I.
Well, that was my heated topic for the night, guys.
But do you think he believes what he's saying, or he's just shoveling shit?
I think what's happened is initially he probably didn't, and now he does because of the operant condition, because of the classical conditioning.
Yeah, people wouldn't be giving him positive reinforcement if it wasn't true, right? So that's so you go with what gives you rewards.
I don't know. It just seems so fake to me.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like
fake and cringe.
It's like impossible to tell whether he actually believes it or not.
He does.
Or whether he
I'm sure he does.
I think eventually.
I don't know if we'll ever
Well-
actually know.
His truth.
Yeah.
Well, when he gets caught cheating on his wife, we'll know.
Oh my God, let's exploit the
Derek
fuck out of that on
Jackson.
that podcast. Baby.
Like he
Let's
said, there's
go.
also a reward for his behavior.
of
He's
course.
getting a reward, so that's going to reinforce.
All right, it's 11 o'clock. We have to do the funny one. This is the
Let's
last.
do it.
All right, here we go.
Is it about Eve?
Guys, we don't want to do anything. And women want to do things. We're going to go apple picking. We're going to go to brunch. We don't want to do any of that. We'll do it to be nice, but just know that none of us want to do it. I used to go out with this girl, and I would fly in from a gig. Let's say my flight landed at 4. She'd be like, when do you fly in? And I go, I fly in at 7. She'd be like, oh, all right, I'll come over at 7 and we'll hang out. But I needed those 3 hours to just fart, shit, decompress, unpack, watch a fucking TV show. So I would lie to her just to get myself a little charge up time. I would open the door. She'd be like, what are we doing today? It's Sunday. Let's go out. I was like, I want to kill myself. So no guy wants to do anything. We'll do it, but we don't want to.
He said he's gonna do it to be nice, but he's really doing it to his.
Yeah, baby, San Gennaro Festival with your friends for sure. When can we sign up for that? Fright Dome for the 7th year in a row. How can we say? Oh,
Let's go ice skating.
Your family's in town, and we're gonna go ice skating. Fuck yeah! I'm so excited.
Okay, but you know what's
Hey,
actually
when are we going to the escape room, honey? When are we going there? When are we doing that?
You know what's actually
compromise.
nice is not lying about it and being like, yeah, let's do this. I'm so excited. Nice is being like, I don't want to do this, but I will do it for you.
Sure.
I will
Now,
do it
there are exceptions.
because I care about you.
Like Top Golf is awesome. That I would, if girls said I want to go Top Golf.
That's
Top
a
Golf.
really
also,
good.
I mean, dating somebody
Thank
that you like the same things.
For sure.
Maybe.
It's like, babe,
Could be a good idea.
you want to go see the Lakers game? Me too. That sounds good.
If you want to
Show
go to
up
the night
in a
game, let's
relationship
fucking
as
go.
your authentic self.
Huh?
Why don't you show up in a relationship?
Because
as your
she'll
bring me
leave
to the
you.
night
Because
Then
women are
let her.
because women are shallow.
that's
Did you
not
not
true.
understand the point of the whole show?
But that's not being nice.
Then
That's
let
not
her.
because it's nice.
Because when you're yourself with women, they will fucking leave you. How did you guys not hear that?
you're doing
It's like,
it.
you're the show for 3 years.
To an extent.
So then be better.
Not as fixer healer women.
Be better.
Be better.
To an
better.
extent.
Just do better.
Okay, you're right though about like the whole not wanting to do the things, but you
wanna
have to
take this one?
compromise.
No, I mean, I was
Sometimes
gonna say
don't
is
do
like,
things
Do you
it's-
want me? Do you want to see me jump up and down and clap my hands out of excitement,
No,
or do you not?
My wife
you know
loves
what
this
I'm saying?
shit.
Like,
Like
if you want to see
if we go
positive
if we
things,
go off to like
take me.
if we go off to like Catalina Island or something like that, we go, okay, we got 4 days. We're gonna I get in there. I'm just like, oh man, I just can't wait to just sit and just chill and relax and just like, you know what, like I wake up at like, you know, you're supposed to sleep in on vacation, right? Okay,
Yeah.
7 a.m. Okay, first we got to go zip line, and then we've got to go to we're renting kayaks, and then we're gonna go, you know, do this. We have pictures at this, and we got to go to snorkeling, and then we got to do the booze cruise at the end.
Body hurts thinking about that.
I'm just like, what are we doing next? I'm all
I
for
feel
it.
like there's only two different types of people on vacation.
We just need like
There's the people that want to do
I
things
just
and the
need
people
2
don't want to do
activities.
anything.
Just can we do 2 a day? Just 2. I'm good.
Like no.
I just like
Monsters they create.
What about
You know, like,
spontaneism?
like so upset, but then it's like you're allowing it to happen, and
You
then
signed
she,
up for this life.
So in her eyes, she thinks it's okay.
Yeah, because I mean,
you're lying to her.
because
Exactly, because you are lying to her.
if she's hot
So-
enough, you'll just it's whatever.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I thought we were
Now,
coming
like,
here to
listen, there's some
fuck.
compromise. Like I hear guys complaining about dinner. I like nice places to go to dinner, dude.
Me too.
I just discovered that new spot, Capo's, out on the west
Capo's?
side. Oh my god, it's so
What is
good.
it? Wait, what is it?
Dude, the food. I love the food at Jim.
What kind of food
I'm
is
a
it?
foodie. If I'm going out with it, like I go out with
I
girls.
love it. I love
Dude,
food.
the
you been to
donut.
Capo's?
Have you had the caramel donuts at Herbs and Rye?
Don't even
Oh my
tell
god.
me. Oh yes,
Or the
Herbs
butter
and
cake
Rye.
at Masters. Like I'm different because I actually
love
like that
sweets.
stuff. But when girls are like, "Oh my god, we got to go hiking," yeah, baby, I can't wait to go fucking hiking. Oh baby, can we just go?
Nobody
do this?
likes hiking.
Nobody likes it.
Nobody actually likes it.
Unless you're gonna like bend me over the rock or something. I really am not trying to go hiking.
That's the key to
You know, are we trying to bend over the red rock? Like how pretty of a view we're trying to get?
People that like hiking,
It's
they're actually
content.
freaks.
No, you're just up in the mountains.
Yeah, but
no one's
different.
around.
You on to something?
She cracked the code.
Maybe we do like hiking.
Enigma, just enigma. That's
She's like, let me surprise you. Let's go hike this mountain. Pull your pants down.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay. You
All right,
convinced
I could
me.
do that. I could do
You
that.
convinced me. I
This is
apologize.
compromise, though. This is compromise.
I'll take it all back. I need you to do something.
compromise.
I need you to do something for me for my OnlyFans. Let's go out to this. Let's go hiking out
make a
here.
deal. Let's make a
In the woods.
deal.
By the way, Anima is awesome. I will go with a girl to Anima. Anima is awesome. That
If
for
it's
sure.
for content, I'm on board.
For sure.
If it's off camera, it might be more. Stop! You put me on this joke. You can't-
I'm just getting great date ideas. Thanks, guys. I just have to go to Herbs and Rye, and I'm going to Top Golf. Like, wow.
And hiking. Don't forget hiking.
And hiking.
As long as you have a
You know.
destination.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
As long as you have a
Sit at
rock.
home and watch Squid Games. when I go
Squid
home.
Games. Hell yeah.
That's all
I
I'm
love
doing.
Squid Games.
Is that a date idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on Squid Games?
No, it's not. Did you say dating?
Oh, watch Squid Games.
You want to die? Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Let's go.
That sounds
Let's
like
go
a
do
fun
Squid
game.
Games.
I guess
Hell
dating.
yeah.
Right? This guy likes Squid Games.
Hell yeah.
We could date.
Oh yeah.
They dropped them people.
All right. Awesome. What do you think about the show so far? What do you think about the show, honey?
Great, amazing. Time for a nap. Thanks.
You need a nap?
Yeah, I'm tired. It is nap 30.
You work till
yeah.
like 5 o'clock in the morning. How are you like this?
I like to go to bed early, like on normal days. I like to be a normal
Really?
person on days that I don't work. Yeah.
Yo,
Same.
for me,
Omnia.
so
Nice.
I have the same the same schedule you do
Yeah.
for that. I go to bed at like 5, and I have breakfast at 4 p.m. And then I have
I love that for you.
I have breakfast
How do
at
you wake up?
like
I do
10:30 in the morning.
Your schedule is
7:30?
amazing.
10:30 in the morning.
10:30?
I intermittent fast. I have breakfast at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the
Okay.
afternoon,
And
and then I have
you woke up like at 3:30.
and then
I'm
then
like,
I go to
that's
the gym.
disgusting.
I go to the gym.
1:30.
I go to the gym at like 10:30, 11 p.m. and then I have lunch at like
The
midnight,
night
and then
owl.
I go to bed at 5.
The moon is your
She's
friend. I love
every
it.
day.
I love
Every
it.
Every day.
I love it.
Well,
That's
partially, to be fair, I flew special ops for 5 years,
Yeah.
and I just love that schedule of like going to bed at like 5, 6 in the morning. That's what I do.
Dead ass. The best.
I
The
can't
time.
sleep
The
in
time we
very
talk
well.
business
You
is
get
like
to avoid
11
most of
11
humanity.
p.m. and I'm about
With
to go
that
to
schedule,
sleep, and he's
it's
like, "Hey, what are we gonna do?"
He's the moon people.
That is crazy.
From midnight to
I used
5.
to be like
It's
that.
moon people, man. I'm a moon person.
From
too.
midnight to 5, I get so much work done. But here's the thing:
I'm the opposite. I get more work done like I said, like
I
during
have
the
to
day.
I have to wake up and I have to go walk outside in whatever sunlight's left for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
To get your vitamin D.
Yes.
Seasonal
I have to
depression
make
is real.
myself. I have to
You
make
gotta
myself
get
do
the
that.
D, for
But the
sure.
intermittent fasting has done like
The
I'm
D
almost.
don't even help the depression
I'm,
sometimes.
I got down to 203 pounds. Is the lightest I've weighed since high school, and I'm gonna try to get down to like 198. But the
Nice.
only reason why it's worked is because the intermittent fasting, just 2 meals a day. It's been really, really good.
Get
That's
the Greyhound,
good.
run with it.
Yeah.
You'll lose weight
For sure, but the sunlight thing is really important if you want to have
Yes,
a
it
schedule
is.
like mine.
Yeah.
But if you want to, guys, if you're out there watching this, a great way to never get laid is to go to bed at 7 p.m. You
Yeah.
will never, ever get. You guys are like, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning and I'm so fucking cool. You guys who go to bed at 9 p.m.,
Get
you
no
will go
pussy.
years without sex. Years.
Tell
if you
him,
want to
tell
make
him,
sure,
Michael, tell
you will
him.
go years without sex by going to bed at 9 p.m. Tell me I'm fucking wrong.
You're not.
All right? Thank
No,
you.
I mean, I think you could like obviously like your weekends and stuff like that, but
No,
like,
no.
hey, if you're
9
gonna
p.m.
be-
on the dot. These guys I know, 9 p.m. Now they're all in
No
relationships.
exceptions?
They're all in relationships. They're all married. Those guys can go to bed at 9 p.m. If you are
Yeah.
a single dude and you go to bed at 9 p.m., welcome to abstinence, brother. That's what's going to happen. Sorry.
I would say I work swing shift and he works graveyard. What'd you think of the show?
It was better than it was last time.
Yeah.
I think actually, yeah.
Yeah, less people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
I don't know if
Less
that's right,
crosstalk?
but it was just
Fewer.
I mean, there
was
were
fun.
Fewer people here.
Fewer.
I mean,
Sorry, I'm Game of Thrones. Fewer. Sorry. Just something
Winter's
weird.
is coming.
Yeah.
Liana, your first time here. What did you think?
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Have you back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Will?
Hey, it was fantastic. I like have less people. If there was like 12,
Fewer.
20 people here.
Fewer. Lesser.
Shame.
It's hard to
Hey, so no, I was going to ask you about the question you asked that girl, but we don't have to do that. It's pretty. Go ahead.
Which one?
No, the show was great. There was fewer people here than the last time I was here, so it was like really great, and I feel like I got to get personal connection. So, awesome show. Am I the only? Oh no, 2 blondes. Okay.
That's like a thing.
And we're all wearing black.
I like that.
Armani, what do you think?
It's always a pleasure to be here and to state my opinion. I like to talk, and familiar and new faces. So it was great.
What do you think of the new studio, huh?
I love it. I like seeing the strip and it looks lively. You guys did great. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, you guys are always welcome to come back. I don't mind. You come back, enjoy it. Make this your own personal stomping ground. And the other thing I'll tell you, for those of you who are content creators, anybody who wants to come under as a content creator, just make clips out of whatever you say on the show. I've seen people go mega viral from doing that. It's absolutely. I have clips that have millions of views from the. I have one clip where I was talking about Tom Brady and Giselle that got 3 million views just from making clips from the show. So don't wait on us to do it. Just make
you
clips.
don't need permission.
Okay. I have a question. So I didn't have CapCut on my phone when everything was banned. I can't download it now. What's your suggestion for a substitution?
I think you can get CapCuts back.
I can't. I tried today. I literally tried it. I tried to download it today. It says the app's not available.
I would use it. I would just use a different app to
So
edit.
what is your recommendation?
I don't know. I have an editor in Nigeria. That's my recommendation. Upwork.com.
My editor's in Nigeria.
No, I have one in Nigeria, one in Iraq, and one in Romania. I have editors in those different places. Yeah.
I definitely will take clips from this though because I'm on TikTok now and I'm trying to get
Beautiful.
monetized.
Awesome. Just don't.
I have one in America, and another in America.
Awesome. So I'm glad you guys had a great time. We're probably tentatively February 13th for those of you who are single, and February 27th if you guys want to come on the show. So if you're single and you want to go out, because we're going to do the show and then we're going to party like a motherfucker afterwards. You want to do that?
Yep.
For
13th.
February 13th. And then the 14th.
The day before Valentine's Day.
And then the 14th, you figure out who's single and sad, and you just say, hey, do you want to go to dinner? And just celebrate being single. Not that I've ever done that before. Awesome, man. Thank you guys for checking us out. You guys will see me hopefully next week. I'm going to do Babes in Toyland in New Orleans. And then tentatively, I will be on the red carpet for the Maxim party in New Orleans. Not positive about that yet. 50-50 on that one. But if you guys are in New Orleans, want to stop by, come to Babes in Toyland in New Orleans. We're going to be doing it on the 6th of February. It's going to be incredible. We're raising money for charity. There's going to be a bunch of beautiful women there. And then what do you have coming up?
Nothing much. We got, I guess, the next Babes in Los Angeles is in March.
Babes in Toyland is
I think it's March 6th. Isn't it?
It's Swim Week.
So that's
it's
our,
Los
that's
Angeles
our next
Swim Week.
plan. Yeah, that's our next planned event for Reignite, and that's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, they're all exchanging phone numbers. Thank you guys for joining us. Really, really had a great time. One more time, guys, if you went to ABN, penicillin, go get some of that shit. It'll clear it all up. And this is me on promethazine. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care.